All right, we'll go to the phone, see if we can answer the stupid question. What is the axilla better known as? That's how you pronounce it, Casey? The axilla. What is it better known as? 215-263 WMMR, and we will go to Mark. Hey, Mark, how you doing?
I'm doing great, guys.
Excellent. All right, so the axilla is better, or the axilla is better known as what?
The underarm or the armpit.
Armpit.
Oh!
Yeah. You got it. Hang on a second, Mark.
The axilla.
We're going to get your information, and we are going to give you a $150 Fogo de Show gift card. And Fogo de Show is the best place to indulge for the holiday season, like their premium graded Wagyu New York strip, a great enhancement to the full churrasco experience. And you can make a reservation for Center City or King of Prussia at fogo.com. Here's the song from Casey. Is this the name of the song?
Yeah, it's called Axilla Part 2. I actually think you might like this one.
Okay. Any lyrics in it, or is it? Yeah, okay. Does it talk about the axilla?
I don't know.
No,
I don't
you-
pay attention to lyrics.
Axilla.
You don't pay attention to lyrics.
Not a lot.
Well, we're not going to have time to get to those lyrics, so we'll.
Oh,
Just...
no. The lyrics coming up in just like
9
4 or 5
minutes.
minutes.
4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah. Shave my fist.
Okay, there we go. That's your fish moment for today.
Thanks, guys.
Axilla, axilla, I will follow.
So at the box office this weekend, number one was Encanto. Made $12.7 million. My daughter really wants to see that movie, so that is on the list of things to get to. Followed by Ghostbusters Afterlife. Then you have House of Gucci, Christmas with the Chosen, Eternals, Resident Evil Raccoon City. Dune is at number 7, followed by Clifford the Big Red Dog, King Richard, and then Sword Art Online Progressive.
Do not know that.
I have no idea what that is.
Don't think it's an American movie.
It's on the list.
It's wild that Dune is in the top 10 while it's available for streaming.
Yeah.
Sword Art is an anime Japanese movie.
Oh, well, there you go. All right, so we'll start with this report saying that Tristan Thompson is expecting his third child with a personal trainer from Texas. According to...
Didn't he say he was in love and committed to Khloe Kardashian?
He did, yes. And in
He's
fact,
a liar.
According to TMZ, Marilee Nichols claims that the baby was conceived in Houston back in March, around the time Tristan was in town to celebrate his 30th birthday. And at that time, Tristan was reportedly still with Khloe Kardashian.
We were on a break. Wow.
Marilee...
It turns out you can't trust him.
Filed legal documents to establish paternity, claiming that she and Tristan were together for 5 months. She also claimed that he offered her $75,000 to keep quiet on the baby and told her that he wanted nothing to do with the child.
75 grand?
Jesus.
75 grand?
That's what she says.
Yeah.
Marley is asking for child support reimbursement for the medical expenses related to her pregnancy and birth.
And a Lamborghini.
There are unconfirmed reports that Marley gave birth on Friday to a baby named Angelou Cash Thompson, Cash spelled with a K. But TMZ reported that an account claiming to be Marley announcing the news and posting the baby was a fake. So I don't know what the hell's going on.
Can't trust anybody in this thing.
I know. So we'll.
He does have a penchant for tub girls, though. We know that. Yeah.
Yep. Alec Baldwin has said that he did not pull the trigger and is therefore not responsible for the death of Helena Hutchins, who died on the set of Rust after the gun that Baldwin was holding went off. But the woman leading the investigation into her death tells TMZ that he may still be charged. Her name is Mary Carmack Altwies. She tells TMZ everyone involved in the handling and use of firearms on the set had a duty to behave in a manner such that the safety of others was protected, and it appears that certain actions and inactions contributed to this outcome. She added, once I have the opportunity to review the complete investigation, certain individuals may be criminally culpable for his or her actions and or inactions on the set of Rust.
Yeah.
Which is what you would expect.
Right. He's not only the actor who, whatever happened with the gun, he's also a producer of the movie. And so some of the decisions were made, with his involvement. We'll see how it plays out.
I had to laugh when I saw this story. 50 Cent.
50?
Offering up an apology to Madonna. The two stars recently got into a scuffle of sorts on social media when the rapper commented on one of the pop star's Instagram posts. So in late November, Madonna shared a series of images of herself wearing risque lingerie while posing on a bed. We were talking about these pictures last week. The final photo included in the post featured only the singer's behind legs and high-heeled feet poking out from under the bed. Now, 50 Cent commented, comparing the picture to The Wizard of Oz, which famously features a shot of legs of a witch wearing heels poking out from underneath the house that fell on top of her. Madonna's original post has since been deleted and reposted, and the Material Girl later took to her Instagram story, sharing a throwback photo of herself and 50 Cent to address his comments. And she wrote, "Here is 50 Cent pretending to be my friend." She wrote this over the pic, and now you have decided to talk smack about me. She goes on to say, it's just, this gets so,
okay, please.
This gets so childish.
I'm excited.
It's ridiculous. She goes, "I guess your new career is getting attention by trying to humiliate others on social media. The least evaluated choice you could make as an artist and as an adult." And she goes, "You're just jealous. You won't look as good as me or have as much fun when you're my age." It sounds like a child.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, totally. No,
I'm rubber, you're glue.
After receiving the sharp jab from the living legend, 50 Cent took to Twitter to apologize. And he said, "I must have hurt Madonna's feelings. She went and dug up an old MTV photo from '03. Okay, I'm sorry. I did not intend to hurt your feelings. I don't benefit from this in any way. I said what I thought when I saw the picture because of where I had seen it before. I hope you accept my apology."
Did she?
She has not responded to the
but now the
apology.
world waits.
Yes.
I am rubber and you're glue.
Right.
We'll have to sit and wait and see what happens to it all. I thought this was nice. Taylor Swift is decidedly old-fashioned in that she's big on sending physical letters, whether they're to peers like Olivia Rodrigo or to Swiftie nurses.
Swiftie nurses.
Yeah, she recently busted out her pen and paper yet again as she sent flowers and a note to Don McLean after All Too Well, Taylor's version, the song, broke the record for the longest song, lengthwise, to ever go number one on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, beating out McLean's American Pie for the honor. McLean shared photos of the flowers and letter and wrote, "What a classy artist. Thank you, Taylor Swift, for the flowers and note." As for the letter, it reads, "Don, I will never forget that I am standing on the shoulders of giants. Your music has been so important to me. Sending love, one writer of long songs to another, your fan, Taylor."
And his response was, he said, "Go to hell"?
No, it was a very nice response. McLean also told Billboard after Swift topped his record, "There's something to be said for a great song that has staying power. American Pie remained on top for 50 years, and now Taylor Swift has unseated such a historic piece of artistry. Let's face it, nobody ever wants to lose that number one spot. But if I had to lose it to somebody, I sure am glad that it was another great singer-songwriter such as Taylor."
Quick question. Was it the full version of that song that entered the top 10, or was it the truncated radio edit of
don't
American
know.
Pie?
Don't know. I got to believe it's the original lengthy
Full,
one.
all right.
But that's a guess,
Yeah,
so
I'm curious.
not really sure.
This song showed up in 2 movies this year to great effect. It was in Black Widow, which I really enjoyed, and then it was also in that movie Finch with Tom Hanks and the robot and the dog.
I've not seen it. Is it good?
I really liked it.
Okay.
Let me know what you think when you see it. If you like Castaway, you'll probably like this.
All right.
But it's just Tom Hanks and the robot and the dog. That's pretty much it. But this song shows up in that as well.
It's a great song. We're looking at a picture of Don McLean himself. He looks like the character that Ben Stiller was playing in Starsky and Hutch. The guy who kept saying, "Do it, do it."
He actually looks like my third grade teacher, Mrs. McFadden.
I don't know her.
Yeah.
So this is Taylor's latest brush with old school music royalty in recent days, as Billy Joel recently compared her to the Beatles, which naturally blew her mind. So she was pretty happy about that. From a slew of divine M's to operatic royalty, the Kennedy Center Honors feted a new crop of artistic greatness. Returned to the stately Kennedy Center Opera House with an audience for the first time since 2019. The 44th ceremony Sunday honored a music-heavy class of Bette Midler, Joni Mitchell, Motown founder Berry Gordy, and opera great Justino Diaz, as well as Saturday Night Live mastermind Lorne Michaels.
I always enjoy those awards. Do they have any idea when? Oh, I'm sure they know when it's going to air.
It's coming up. I've got the date at the end of this story. Let's get to it in a second here. So another tradition was also restored for the first time since 2016, the attendance of the President of the United States. In addition to Joe Biden, First Lady Jill Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, and Second Gentleman Douglas Emhoff had all situated in the presidential box.
Hasselhoff and Osho?
No, he was not there,
Son
but
of a bitch.
it was a mix of politicians from both parties. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, Buttigieg was there, and former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich among them mingled with a spate of entertainment luminaries. David Letterman served as the MC, and a heady list of surprise guests were enlisted to pay homage to the honorees, including Stevie Wonder, Brandy Carlisle, Paul Simon, Billy Porter, Steve Martin, Goldie Hawn, Chita Rivera, and nearly a dozen Saturday Night Live cast members, past and present. So that is going to air, Steve, on the 22nd.
Nice.
On CBS. So you'll be able to see that.
From what I understand, Courtney Stodden presented
Joni Mitchell?
Joni Mitchell.
Yeah, because she's a musician, too.
How'd she get here?
The audience
who is that?
of about
It's Courtney Stodden. I don't know.
2,200 people, which abashedly sang and danced through Wonder's finale of Higher Ground, was required to show proof of vaccination to attend. So that's coming up on the 22nd. I have story of hair.
Oh,
This morning.
Nice.
So I thought you might want to be aware of it. As the new year slowly approaches, Billie Eilish is getting ready for a fresh start by going back to her dark roots. The 19-year-old singer shared a photo of her brunette locks on Instagram, writing, "Miss me?" On Billie's Instagram story, she added a photo of just her bangs, teasing fans with the caption, "Guess what?" The Grammy winner's fans are loving the darker do.
God, I love it.
Her followers left an assortment of adoring emojis under her pic, clearly left speechless at the sight of her new look.
She's a very pretty woman. She's got very, I don't know, I guess you'd call them. How old is she?
I don't know. She's
Before I say
19
bedroom
earlier.
eyes. Okay, she has bedroom
Did I say
eyes.
19
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought, yeah, you're right, 19-year-old. By the way, Claudia Sulewski, who is dating Billy's brother Phineas, commented, "Insane."
Insane!
Yeah, so there you go.
Are you crazy?
Prior to this dramatic reveal, the pop star spoke to Vanity Fair about how her appearance impacts her confidence. She said in an interview that her previously jet black hair and neon green tips made her feel too noticeable in public. She said, "My attitude used to be like, I can't go out, I can't go here, I can't go there.
I can't go anywhere.
I wasn't able to go to a park or go get coffee. It freaked me out, but in the last year, I opened up to it." And she added that it wasn't just her hair that made her stand out. She said, "I was like, I only want to be seen if I look like myself, so I would never wear anything normal." Now the teen feels more comfortable blending in, and her brunette hair is a testament to that.
Helps her go undercover, sort of.
She ditched the eccentric hair colors in March, just after she and Phineas performed at the Grammys. She worked with hairstylist Lisa Wren to complete the transformation, a process that Lisa said took 6 weeks.
Does she go to the King of Brows, Preston? Or
I don't know. Is
Well,
that
he
his name?
tours, right?
Yeah, Brow King.
The Brow King. That's it.
Brow King. What I noticed about this is that her pupils are super duper pinned, which is like a.
Yeah, but look at the light.
I know.
it's
That's
real
why I was
bright
looking
light.
at some other pictures and stuff just to see if that was, if it's the light that's causing that or anything else.
Well, she also has her irises, or that's the color part, right? The iris, I think.
Yeah.
Or am I wrong about
Well,
that?
the pupil is the black part.
it's the labia.
So, so her labia is no. She has that real pale blue look to her
Ocean eyes.
Her eyes, yeah, which are very kind of hypnotic.
They're watching you.
Yeah, they're private eyes. For sure.
Yeah, I always people who have, there's some people who have just absolutely captivating eyes. I have boring old Hazel.
She has a song called Ocean Eyes.
Oh, I did not know that.
Really pretty song.
George Clooney has made serious bank at the box office and in founding and selling for $780 million the tequila brand Casamigos.
Unbelievable.
So he can make choices most people would only dream about when it comes to work. For example, the actor turned down a $35 million one day of work
What?
He told The Guardian, I was offered $35 million for one day's work for an airline commercial, but I talked to Amal, and he said, I talked to her about it, and we decided it wasn't worth it. It was with a country that, although it's an ally, is questionable at times. So I thought, well, if it takes a minute's sleep away from me, then it's not worth it.
Should I do this, Amal, or what?
He also revealed how he's avoided any major public missteps. He said, I was 33, 34 years old when ER took off, so I was older, right? He said, also, my aunt Rosemary was a huge singer, Rosemary Clooney.
Yes.
Said she was a huge singer, huge. And then rock and roll came along, she lost her career, and she didn't get it because at 21, she thought that she was the real deal, and by 26, it was gone. So I'm lucky enough to understand how little the fame side has to do with me. He also said of his twins, he said, ours are so different. It's like night and day. Alexander loves to laugh, and Ella's very serious, always making sure that everybody plays by the rules. They really are born with their personalities.
That's crazy.
Of their traditional names, he said, we talked about it from the beginning and said their lives are going to be unusual, right? There's no denying that. So let's give them a head start by giving them normal names instead of going with like a celebrity. Kind of
I like
weird.
that, yeah. And don't they speak fluent Italian?
You know what? I don't
Whereas
know.
he does not.
Maybe.
I think their nanny staff has taught them Italian.
He said they don't have any army taking care of them. He said, we don't because it's so important to Amal to be involved, and we have a nanny 4 days a week, and the rest of the time it's just us. And during lockdown, it was just us for a full year, and I felt like my mother in 1964 doing dishes and 6 loads of laundry a day.
If you want to see Rosemary Clooney, if you're familiar with the movie White Christmas, the musical with Bing Crosby, she's in that.
She is.
6 loads of laundry a day.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Must be a lot of pants crapping.
He's.
I think he's exaggerating a little bit. Yep. Let's see. Over the past week, Spotify has removed several albums by Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish, John Mulaney, and hundreds of others over royalty disputes. So increasingly, comedians are seeking royalties when their jokes are played on streaming or radio, and so therefore, I guess they don't want to. They're not agreeing with that. So
I'll occasionally throw just instead of a song, I'll request a like a Mulaney album or something, and have it play while I'm working around the house or whatever. Yeah, it's and they should get what's owed.
Why is their audio content not and worth any less?
right, agreed. Tyra Banks is turning 48. And in a positive frame of mind, the Dancing with the Stars judge shared on social media, it's my birthday.
Yay!
And every year, this body of mine keeps changing. My body of work and my body oddy.
Oh my god!
Body oddy oddy, body ah, a body oddy oddy. Mm-hmm. She said, my body is fuller, and so is my mind.
All right.
I have a full mind and a full body.
Mm-hmm.
I hate these posts.
I know.
It is so narcissistic.
Well, it's just, I don't know if I would call it narcissistic. It's just.
What would you classify it as?
Like fishing, like throwing bait. What do you call it? Baiting?
Thirsty?
Thirsty, thank you.
Yes.
A little thirsty.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's what it seems
yes.
like to
Tell
me.
me I'm wonderful.
God,
That's it.
you know what I hate the most is when people say, and I have to put this the right way because it's not about what they're writing. When they say this is my world and like it's a picture of their spouse or their
Right.
kids or whatever, like that's a nice picture. I just hate the this is my world with like the little world emoji.
What I have to deal with?
Shut up. Like they
Oh my
probably
God, I woke up to this morning.
yeah.
Oh my God. The dog was asleep on the bed.
Yeah.
Somewhere, there's a war-torn city.
Well, the reality is, you yelled at the world for leaving socks on the floor.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh my God, empty bowls in the sink.
Right.
One of my really
Someone's fighting cancer.
One of my really good friends, she jokes with me and like she'll, because we laugh about that, my world. And so she'll send a picture of like her husband sleeping and she's like, he's so hungover and smells so disgusting. My world.
Well, you made some bad choices, didn't you?
Yeah.
Shouldn't have married a lush.
All right, I'm curious what you guys think about this. So there is another Tiger King chapter. This one, I'm curious what you guys think.
All
Like I
right.
said, Tiger King, the Doc Antle story.
Yes.
Yeah.
I might be interested in that.
Yeah, I would.
We got a taste. We didn't get a lot. And so let's go down that path.
I
Because
wanna-
I'm finding the second season,
I haven't even.
Yeah.
I don't have any interest in it.
yeah,
to
2
be honest.
episodes I watched.
But
Tapped out.
I want to know more about this dude.
Yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
guy is weird and was compelling to watch on that show because of his bizarre harem of ladies and all that other thing that he had going on.
Who's set to play? Who's playing him in that movie where Nicolas Cage is playing Joe Exotic? Is he not?
Yeah, I think so. I've lost
Casting
track.
decisions have gone back and
Isn't
forth.
there more than one Steve?
Yeah, there's one that Kate McKinnon is involved with as well.
yeah. You're right.
So, yeah, the Doc Antle story, which is a 3-episode documentary about Bhagavan Doc Antle, will premiere on Netflix December 10th. A lifelong showman, Doc Antle has built his various careers on theatrics, attracting a slew of admirers along the way. But beneath the eccentric, animal-loving facade lies a predator far more dangerous than his beloved big cats and a man shadier than any of his Tiger King counterparts. That's what it says here.
All right.
Over 3 episodes, Tiger King, the Doc Antle story, unpacks the truth about Doc as witnesses come forward to share their troubling stories of abuse and intimidation that set him at the top of the food chain.
Yeah, because
you got me.
In the original documentary, he was quirky and eccentric, but he wasn't depicted as menacing.
They touched on a little
little
bit.
bit.
They had like one of his former wives
Right,
who was
right,
saying this guy is not on the up and up.
Well, and I followed all of them, after the first Tiger King. I followed them all on social media, and so I still follow them. But he is the most active, and still active with as far as, videos of the animals and, and all of that. The women swimming with tigers and this and that. So he's still pretty active and up there.
Clearly has a big ego.
And then one last story, and it's Netflix as well. But Netflix has been dropping true crime docuseries every month, but they haven't been performing as well as recently, according to Variety reports. I got burnt out on that stuff, too.
Yeah.
They haven't been performing as well as recently?
Yeah, well, they haven't been performing as well lately.
Oh,
I
I see.
Is what
Okay,
I should
yeah,
say.
yeah.
Because, there was, I remember getting on board on one, and I was like, oh, okay, well, this looks really good. And I'm watching, I'm like, this is really going nowhere.
Yeah.
And they dangle, the crime, which is usually horrific. But then some of these kind of meander. And
No, I
they
agree.
don't have much of a resolution.
I think, in a way, it's a call to arms for murderers to get more entertaining.
Come on now.
Please step up your game.
Don't be boring about it.
No,
you're right. There's a glut of them. And so when there's a glut of anything, you say, well, it wasn't as good as that. It wasn't as good as that.
Yeah.
And there are, like on Discovery Plus, Preston, there are whole channels that are devoted to this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you can 24/7 watch nothing but murder investigations.
It's also frustrating because there's a sort of it's very formulaic, and you have your beginning, your middle, and your end, and there have been a couple of endings where I'm like, you just wasted my time, right? Like
I'm going to kill you.
Well, so one was I'm gonna.
There we go.
That's a
the way
story.
to go.
That's a plot twist.
He hated it
Son
so
of a bitch.
He hated the documentary
was
so
so
bad
unfulfilling.
that he goes and kills the creators.
Kill them all.
There was one where the chick ended up in a water tower at the top of the hotel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
You remember that? Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
What's the name of that hotel? It was that was
in Los
actually
Angeles,
it was,
right?
Yeah.
It was pretty engaging. That's where the disappearing girl in the elevator came from.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't finish watching it.
Oh,
Because they went over the same stuff over and over and over and over.
Here's
and
the
I'm
deal.
like,
It sucked. It sucked. She had a what they never told you from the very beginning, something that they knew, is she had like psychotic episodes. All right, so she was not mentally stable, right?
But
and
the
so
case-
she had a psychotic episode. She ended up hiding into this water tower and ended up drowning to death.
The
All
thing
right.
that for me was
Yeah,
the
bailed on
legend surrounding the hotel and all the weird stuff. I
That's
actually
crazy
found
too,
I
yeah.
found that center story the least engaging of all the peripheral crap that was
Agreed.
happening in this bizarre dive, almost from another dimension hotel.
the Hotel Cecil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a weird story just about the
Weird.
building
Yeah.
itself, but I didn't want to stick around for it
Kill
anymore.
them all.
Just kill
I
them.
just wasted an hour of my Friday night. They're all gonna die.
Since February, Cocaine Cowboys is the only 2021 original series ranking in the top 10 for 14 consecutive days.
That's why I think, Steve, if you are going to do that on a Friday or Saturday night, like it is super duper important for you to get the right snack because at least you have
A good snack.
a good snack.
Right.
You know what I mean? Okay.
So what do you go with? Pizza bagels?
I found mini tacos.
Mini tacos.
I ended up finding them. But also, like a nice chip or popcorn. Definitely, you need some sort of salty and some sort of sweet.
Well, I tell you what, I've just gotten good also at being able to divine whether something's going to be worth my time, at least in the true crime. Mm-hmm. Okay, what is this? How are they approaching this?
Right.
What do they got?
Right.
And Preston, the thing that you talk about is something that I hate, which is if you're watching it on commercial TV, they end with a segment, they go into the commercial, and then when they come back, they repeat the last minute and a half of what they just did. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, bro.
Why are you catering to the people that just tuned in?
I've been with you through this whole... I'm going to kill them all.
All right, we're ready for clips, everyone. A decorated Marine is on a rescue mission to save his 2 sons from a mysterious threat, and his sons must leave their childhood behind in encounter. In this clip, director Michael Pierce talks about what made him want to make the film. Here we go.
It came to me and I instantly identified with the family dynamic between the father and his 2 sons. Because for ostensibly a lot of my childhood, I grew up with a single father and a younger brother. And I just really knew that relationship and how complex it could be, how loving it could be. And so I read the draft of the script and I was just like, wow, this is my family dynamic.
Shut up.
Encounter is available to stream on Prime today.
Are you watching this? Or anybody watching this?
I will.
Okay.
Next clip, here we go. A group of 4 friends decide to follow their dreams together after graduating from college in Harlem. And in this clip, Megan Good talks about the energy behind the scenes.
It was real. It is real. It's transcended on set to real life. And, just like the audition process, me and Grace had already known each other and we are very, very close. And we had said like, man, it'd be so cool to do a show together and like to be in that space together. And then Grace had already got Quinn and I was coming in to test. And then I met Jerry and we instantly connected.
Shut the f*** up!
Harlem is available to stream on Prime Video right now. And there you go. Your entertainment report for this Monday morning, setting you in motion, friends, as we get going on a fairly comfortable day. It's foggy today. We're looking looking out the window right now.
Hey.
So obviously we get this warmer weather contributing.
Is it possible that we have lightning later on? I heard that.
Yes, actually, you are correct about that. So
well.
there's going to be rain later on tonight, not till like maybe 4 or 5 o'clock, something like that, but like mid-60s. And then the reason we're going to get rain is a cold front's coming in, and it's going to be chilly next couple days. High 42 on Tuesday, Wednesday 38. We might even get some snow showers.
Is the school going to turn to blood?
Might.
Okay.
I don't have a forecast.
Your
on
biblical
that, but
forecast.
you never know what might happen. We're going to break. We have a few things going on, including when we get to the Bizarre File, we have an assignment for you.
Yes.
That could get you a prize. So we're going to take a break and give away some Christmas Miracle passes.
Hey!
All right.
It's a Christmas miracle!
So-
yeah! Woo-hoo!
College 10, 11, and 12. You have to be at least 21 and available to join us on the 21st. We'll be at Parks Casino. You can bring a friend, but only you will be qualified to possibly end up in our contest and win the big prizes. So give us a call right now, 215-263-WMMR. And don't forget, it's the Miller Lite Ugly Sweater Edition. You might win by wearing an ugly Christmas sweater or holiday, any kind of holiday sweater. We'll take a break and be back in a moment. Stay with us this morning. Blake recently shared a song called Happy Days.
Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, the track follows Blame It On My Youth and Generational Divide is the third offering from the trio's new LP, which is tentatively titled Bajmir. Somebody they texted this, and it says their album is Rim Job Backwards. I thought that was the name of Rim Job Backwards was the name of the album. No, Bajmir is Rim Job spelled backwards.
Oh, what?
There we go. Thank you. We would not have known that.
I like that.
Yeah.
Bajmir. Or you can name an album Rim Job Backwards.
Would it sound that way if you took?
I doubt it.
Reversed it. I don't think it would.
Let's all say
try it?
Yes.
We could.
Yes.
So just say clearly, say rim job.
Can you record it and play backwards or no?
Yes, I can.
Okay, say when.
Go ahead. When?
Rim Job.
All right. Let's,
So Casey will record that.
All right.
Reverse it, and we'll see what that sounds like. All right. Okay, say when.
Go ahead. When?
Rim Job.
All right, you ready?
Yep. Bajmir.
Yeah.
Bajmir.
Yeah.
Bajmir. There's a little in there, but Bajmir. Now let me say that forward.
And see if it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Bajmir.
Okay.
Okay, let's try that. See if it comes back as
Try that. Go here and.
Frame job.
We're scientists.
Frame job.
There you go.
Hold
Do
on.
it again. You can even do it better.
Frame job. Frame job.
We are ready to transmit.
Bajmir. Him job.
The aliens are about to transmit a message.
Play it again, Casey. Frame job.
You really got that in there.
I love our
And now the envoy from Neptune is about to speak.
frame job.
Rim job.
Frame job.
Rim job.
It's so
It's like
good.
you've just met in the jungle. Rim job.
Frame job.
That's my favorite one.
It's a
Rim
greeting.
job.
It's a
Frame
greeting.
job.
Rim job. You like green job.
Frame.
Rim job.
Frame.
Why did that?
I don't know why it's stopping.
Me? Neither.
Frame job.
Rouge, you tongue to cream butthole.
At the end, I go, frame job.
Yeah, of course. Wouldn't you? It's definitely
Frame
enough to-
job.
That's the natural gagging.
Frame job. Job. Someone wants to point out that we've won awards.
Yes.
Yes, we have.
I know.
True.
That
Yeah.
doesn't mean they can't rescind them.
Yeah.
What?
Do you get the spicy chicken at the Chick-fil-A, or do you just get the regular chicken?
I have gotten the spicy before.
I think I'm just a spicy chicken guy. Like there,
Oh, dear God. I'm just a spicy chicken guy.
Are you coming out right now?
I'm coming out.
I mean, Pride Month ended
Mom,
yesterday.
can we
did it end
talk?
yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah,
June.
June.
All right, anyway,
Okay,
I was
what-
just joking. Go
I'm a
ahead.
spicy chicken guy.
Oh no! But I just wanted to let this be known that Wendy's has,
Well, I'll always love you.
has the spicy chicken nuggets are back. So
That was, yes, I
yeah.
did see that announcement they made. So you wanted to get the word out?
I just want to get the word out. Want to
All
let
right.
people know it's usually like $6 for $1.
Yeah.
I heard.
This morning on the Preston C Show, Casey Boy reveals something concerning fast food and an extended offer. We go now to Jim Iglesiewski outside of the Pentagon. Jim, did Casey in fact confirm there was an extended offer? That's correct, Tom. Thank you, Jim.
That's all you had to say. Yes, it's correct. It's confirmed.
I think I'm just a spicy chicken guy. Like
Just a spicy chicken guy. Spicy chicken guy. Oh no!
Dear God, I'm just a spicy chicken guy.
I just want to get the word out. Want to let
right.
people know.
Okay, so I want to talk about the movies that are opening this weekend. Where'd Casey go?
Do you think he had to make a boom boom?
I'm not really sure. There's a lot of things that are off about him today, so I don't
Is it
really
even
know.
Casey?
It might not be Casey. Did we check?
Maybe it's
No,
the hair.
we usually take a urine specimen every morning.
So we usually have a little song that we play. Marissa, I don't know if you can find that or not. It's the 20th Century Fox with the recorder.
Yeah.
Maybe it's under. I don't know what it's even labeled under.
I'll admit this. I'm a little scared.
we have kazoos.
You could do that, Kath.
You're a master of it, Kathy. Play it. Play it for us.
I got mine, Kath.
All right, I have my egg.
You know how it goes?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll give you the.
Okay, ready?
Wait,
Dun,
hold it
dun,
for
dun,
me.
dun,
Yeah, yeah,
dun, dun, dun,
yeah.
dun. Ray, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen.
You were way better than me.
Thank you. I went for it.
That was sensational.
little lightheaded.
You know what I realized?
You have a
I have a
recorder.
recorder right here.
You want to do it again?
You okay?
I'm better.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't feel good, guys.
Right over here is Jason Kelsey.
Yeah.
How's it going, guys?
How you doing so far? You enjoying the off season?
Yeah, it's good. We just started up again about 2 weeks ago. This week was the first week on the field with the coaches. So we're kind of back at it.
Kind of seems like there's really not any sort of real off season these days. The nature of the beast is that you just keep at it.
Yeah, especially when you're playing playoff games and stuff like that. It shortens down. We're probably 7 months out of the year working, but that's. Pretty intensive work for 7 months. But
Jason, is it a case of and is it sort of better that way because you gotta do more getting up to speed?
Yeah.
If you take too much time off, and if you kind of sort of keep at it, you're always just to take off, fighting weight, basically.
Yeah, I think most guys lift year round pretty much.
Yeah.
You'll take a few weeks off here or there, go on vacation, whatnot, but most guys are always staying in shape. This time of the year is especially important for all the new free agents that we got in, all the guys that are trying to learn the terminology, the new playbooks.
Well, your brother's like one of the best tight ends in the league.
Yeah.
He does a great commercial, by the way.
He's tackling an eagle in that commercial, or have we talked about this yet?
He's dancing in the commercials, the commercial that I'm talking about, where he's sort of fantasizing and he's doing like an end zone dance, and then you realize that he's like standing in the middle of a store or whatever. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, because you guys are both at the top of your games and the top of your positions, who's the actual better athlete?
Oh, Travis is not even close.
Oh, really?
Not even close. You got to call him as you see him. Yeah. Honestly, he's living it out in fantasy, and you're doing it.
Yeah. No, he's a special athlete, and he always has been. Even no matter what it was, basketball, baseball. He's just had a knack for sports. I think that I've always been big, fast, and strong, but the type of athlete he is, how fluid he is, the way he moves, his ability to change direction and things like that, and spatial awareness. He's a tremendous athlete.
Jason, you and Nick share something in common. You guys have both climbed Mount Kilimanjaro.
You climbed Mount Kili?
I did. Yeah, I did it for charity as well. The organization you guys did it with was Chris Long and Bo Allen. And the Water Boys is a fantastic organization. And, when I did it, I thought I never want to do it again. Because
same here.
Yeah, it is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Yeah. But now it's been several years, and I want to do it again. And part of the reason why I want to do it again is because of the work you guys have done for such a great organization. And I love philanthropic climbs at all. And to do it and make it that challenging is really impressive. Tell me your impressions of the climb itself.
Same as you.
Yeah.
The moment I started going up that last night, about halfway through, I was like, what in the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
You're in the pitch black. You're going. What route did you go up?
We did Umboy. Yeah.
We did Rongai, which is the only one from like the north side.
Yes.
It's the shortest, but I think...
Is it steeper?
I think it's at the top. It's a little bit steeper.
Because everyone says it's like Nick was saying that basically as climbs go, it's a gradual, but there was one route that at the end, it's probably what you did, that it becomes a lot steeper.
The summit is the hardest part of the climb.
Exactly.
And you're already tapped out because you've done a climb for several days in a row, and then it becomes the steepest part at the highest elevation.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I don't know if it's any steeper, I shouldn't say that, but you do have to, once you get to the top, you don't go right to the peak, so you have to like walk around to the other side of the peak, which is a little bit more of like another 2 hours once you're already at the top, which is kind of like, well, why in the heck am I?
Are you walking?
I should already be here.
Is that so you summit like at daybreak?
So you get up at midnight the night before. That's what we did on this route. You have a headlamp on. It's the blackest of black you've ever seen. I mean, there's not a light
on a mountain.
Yeah, and you just start making your ascent. And at this point, it's a little bit too steep for guys like me to go straight up. I mean, the porters and guys who do this, I mean, it's nothing to them. They're walking up and down like it's just another day of work.
Bastards.
But, for us, we go like kind of like sideways in these skipbacks, and it took us 7.5 hours to get to Gilman's Point, which was the top of the Rongai route, and then we had to walk another 2.5 hours to the peak. So I got to the peak around 10 a.m.
Who else climbed with you guys?
So it was me, Chris, Bo, and Haloti Nada were the four guys that have played with the Eagles.
And Haloti?
They said Haloti and Bo were the two heaviest guys that they've ever seen climb the mountain.
And he announced his retirement from at the peak, at the summit.
After the climb, the mountain is now 16,000 feet.
As we're sitting here talking to you, the texts are coming in, and I wanted to find out what you hear most. Do you hear Hungry dogs, what is it? Hungry dogs run faster?
Yeah.
Okay. Or if I don't eat breakfast, I'm pissed off.
Yep.
Or from that speech, there were several highlights. Do people just yell those out to you sometimes?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one do you hear most?
I was actually surprised nobody this morning asked if I ate breakfast. And if I said or not.
You've heard it enough,
yeah,
man.
Oh, thank you.
You know,
I probably hear hungry dogs. I probably hear hungry dogs run faster than and that's not just from. I mean, that's still a mantra of Jeff Stoutland. I mean, he was just grilling some of the younger guys with it today, and or not today, but yesterday about we got some rookies coming in here. We got some new free agent signings. You want to talk about hungry dogs, and he's trying to motivate people with it. I mean, it's something that was such a big part. I
want to read this email I got. In fact, we all got it from a guy named John Cantwell. The subject line is, "You made my year." He says, Gadzooks, and congratulations on all your years of achievement. And I just wanted to check in and tell you guys that you are what gets me through every work day, all day, and my Spotify results prove it. I listen to your show for 84,064 minutes in 2021 as of December 5th.
Wow.
And then he writes, that's normal, right?
84,000.
I'm not sure. How many hours is that? Nick, can you look up?
I looked it up.
Divide 84,000 by 60?
I told him, I responded to him. It was like somewhere in the neighborhood of like 6 full days of listening to us.
Okay. So I'm just wondering how many hours. So we'd have to divide that by 60.
24 times 6.
84,000. So anyhow,
1,400 hours, and then divide that by 24 is a lot of days.
I recommend that you do that in your personal life. Follow his example.
He said, anyways, I love you guys, and toss a shout out in for all of us when you read this on the air. Thank you guys. Have a great holiday from John Campbell. So there you go. That's nice. Yeah, Spotify did. I didn't know they had I guess a year end. It tallies up what you've been listening to, and they make this little video. My daughter, we were out driving around. She's like, "What does yours say?" I don't know what you're talking about. And so we played it together, and it was kind of fun. Like my most listened to song is "Spirit of Radio" from Rush.
That's cool.
Yeah, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, did like top 5 artists, top 5 podcasts, all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
Yep. So if you listen to us via Spotify on the podcast, thank you very much, and we appreciate any way at all that you consume our show, whether it be on your smart speaker or you stream the YouTube channel, which you can watch now every day.
Yes.
If you want to, you just you can see what's going on live in the studio, or if you download the podcast from our website or social media. I don't know where it all is available, to be honest. So
it's everywhere, apparently. Yeah, but and also, Preston, it's funny. You'll still come across people who've turned other people onto the show, and we encourage you to do that.
But listening directly on the radio, that's pretty awesome, too.
Love it.
And we do appreciate that. Speaking of Spotify, which is an app on my phone and on a lot of people's phones, Steve had brought this up the other day, and I don't know what the context of the conversation was.
We were talking about trees.
Oh,
yes. Nick had a tree app.
Champion Trees of Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Which is an app, and you have and proudly share that app with at least a few other people. And you're
at least 4.
You knew a lot about tree trivia in the area, and then I thought it was amazing because of all these bizarre apps. Like Kathy, for example, has a great white shark app that traces the migration of great white sharks in the Atlantic.
Yeah, so I'll watch the sharks usually in the summertime. And also I was out at my friend's farm not that long ago, and she has the tree app. And so we were trying to figure out, which branches to cut for our holiday planters.
Using the tree app.
She was using the tree app to figure out what she had.
I can tell you that there are apps on my phone that I have no idea what they do anymore. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that I'm paying, if I may, I'm going to call it up here just for a second.
By the way, I just realized I have a tree app on my phone.
Oh, yeah? Which one?
Well, it's Leaf Snap.
Okay.
You take a picture of the leaf.
I've used that one.
And it'll tell you
it's pretty good
what kind of tree it is.
Yeah.
So I have an app that lets you know how many apps you're paying for.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh my
I
God, really?
pay for this app.
Do you really?
I've never used it.
Oh, my
You pay for an app that tells you how many other apps
that I'm
you're
using
paying
and pay
for.
for, so that I can eliminate the ones that I'm not using.
You need,
and I don't use the one I pay for to tell me which ones I'm using that I don't use.
You need an app accountant.
I mean, it's one of those things because in the heat of you get something. Oh,
Right.
download the app. Oh, okay.
So Marissa put this out onto Twitter last week. What is the most bizarre app on your phone? And feel free to call 215-263-WMMR because some of these are going to be hard to meet.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example of one. This is from Danny Affatato. He wrote Poop Map.
All right.
Poop Map.
You log on a map everywhere you've pooped.
Huh.
You compete with your friends to see who covered the most distance. And then he writes, used it once at my house. And that's it. I like the idea of that one. Now, you got to have other people playing along for it to make sense
So,
at all. Your friends have
and the
to
goal
be.
is to like poop around the world?
I guess.
All right.
I don't really know. Kathy,
I feel like
you have the same app?
No, I don't have the same app. I feel like this is something that I downloaded because of the show. I have no idea what it is, and I've never used it, but it's called Been Verified.
Is that what is it? Okay.
I don't
so
know.
I'm going to look. A lot of times the problem, and let me ask you guys if you have this as well. So you've downloaded this app, you never use it, you log back on, and then it asks you to re-enter your password and or 14 other things. And you're like, the hell with it.
It was featured on the Catfish show, Kathy. Been verified.
What's the Catfish show?
That show about people where they get catfished.
Oh.
And so it's been verified helps identify who people actually are.
So why were you on a dating app?
I thought that I downloaded it because we talked about it on the show.
Maybe.
You might have.
Here's a couple more examples. Sarah Watson had chimed in and said, I have a game called Just Mowing, literally a game where you mow grass.
Case? I think we could get into that.
Yeah.
We
you
do
guys
like mowing.
Kind of like mowing grass.
Yeah, but I kind of like the real thing.
Here's one that says, this is from Pete Candel. He said, I have an app called Logger, mainly meant to be used when on the clock at work. You input your hourly wage and start the timer when you sit down to take a smash. Stop it when you're done and see how much money your employee just paid you to crap.
I think we talked about that on the show once too.
Did we?
Yeah.
We're probably responsible for a lot of people.
I think
having
we
this
are.
app. I have an app that I look at it every time my phone comes up. It says Drive FM, and I have no idea what it is. It's got a car smiling. I'm going to hit it now and see what it does.
All right. See what comes up.
Again, it goes into this page. Ask app not to track, allow, and then I just say F it. Then I just leave out of it.
Yeah. You may want to just delete that from your
You know what?
Your apps.
Good idea.
Do it. Here's one. This is from Shannon Drop. She wrote, weirdest app, most bizarre app she has on her phone. Fecal parasite identifier.
Oh, my God.
I love that.
And then she writes, veterinarian technician. I use it when a parasite needs identifying. So at least you get some practical use out of that.
Yeah, it's not like it's just a hobby like watching trees or something.
Hang on a second. I'm going to go to Remington on the phones. Hi, Remington. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How we doing?
Good. What's up, man?
So I have an app. It's called Be My Eyes. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
No.
But what it does is it allows for blind people to download it as well. And if they need assistance on something, they can call on the app, and anyone from around the world that has it downloaded can answer it and help them out with their needs. So, for instance, I think it was last week, there was someone who was paying for something at a grocery store, and they needed to call and make sure if they were given the right change, or I think it was if he needed like a 5 or a 10, and I was able to help him out with it. But it's a pretty cool app.
Wow.
Let me ask you that. I assume you're just assuming that the people you're dealing with are on the up and up, right? I mean, you want people to be honest, right? But people don't have to be. How do they vet people who are using this and giving information to blind people?
I have no idea.
Okay. All right.
Maybe they just
keep walking.
Well, maybe just because it's random. Well, I don't know. I guess it's
there's sick bastards out there.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh,
Wow.
traffic's clear. Go ahead.
That's got to make you feel good when you do that, though, right, Remington?
Yeah, and it's pretty cool. I think there's actually, there's millions of users, so it's very rare to get a call. But when you get that alert and you answer it quick enough, you get the call, and it's a pretty cool feeling.
Well, that's very nice. No, it's cool that you would do that.
Nice work. Thanks.
It's kind of like when you're using the Waze app and you get to actually put something on there. No. Like, there's a car on the side of the road.
on the shoulder. I do it all the time.
I had
every
one
time.
I had a pothole that was exactly at the spot.
Crazy.
It's like amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing how accurate that is.
By the way, I love this text. Says funniest app on my phone is my Planet Fitness app.
I'll tell you which one I use two that I use the most frequently are my Wawa app and my Dunkin' app. I use those all the time.
What are you using your Wawa app for?
Just for the same thing I use my Dunkin' app for. Just
Order?
every time I go in the store, and you get Wawa rewards, you get Dunkin' rewards, and so it just. I don't know. I use them so frequently. Hold up the phone to the register. They scan it. You don't even have to worry about putting money, carrying money into the store. You just have it all on your phone.
So wait a minute, but the app do you have a credit line or something? Okay.
Yeah, and if you ever get like a Dunkin' gift card or a Wawa gift card, you can add that to the app.
I have my Dunkin'. I use the Dunkin' one because I have all the gift cards. We get them. It's part of we run on Dunkin'.
We do.
So we get
our
we get
machine's empty.
We get gift cards. So I started entering them all in on my phone.
Yep.
And so I guess it's like that.
It's exactly the same. Yeah.
Do you ever order ahead of time for the Wawa thing?
Actually, not on Wawa. I
don't
order
do that.
ahead on Dunkin'.
Okay.
The Dunkin' app is effortless.
perfect.
I love it.
It is, yeah.
I have an app here I've downloaded and never used called Tomo.
The hell's that?
Tomo.
Is that the dog in Alaska who?
No, that's
Togo.
Togo and Balto. And a malto meal. Yeah, I don't know. Any idea, Nick?
You don't know what it is?
Touch of modern shopping. So, Steve, when you want to add those modern flares to your home,
Yeah, that's what I got it for.
Tomo will do that for you.
For years, just on a side note, I was paying for a Tom Sizemore porn site for years,
Right.
Because we lifted audio clips off of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Wait a minute.
What am I paying for here?
Here's some other bizarre apps on the phones. Rebecca Rizzo wrote in and said, healthy bladder. It times how long you pee and estimates the volume in your bladder and tracks your bathroom habits. And, and she wrote, yes, I use it. Okay, interesting.
That's really funny. I mean, it's probably not all that odd, but there are plenty of apps that will track a woman's, menstrual cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got mine is menstro.com.
This one is from Deb Langville. She wrote, or Langle, we have an Aurora Borealis tracker.
Yeah.
That uses your location and alerts you when conditions are prime. And it came in very handy in Iceland.
Yes, it does, except if there's clouds.
Right.
Because
You used it too?
can't see beyond the clouds, yeah. But actually, it's really cool, and it'll track where the Aurora Borealis is the day before, and so you can see what you missed.
Christine Mary wrote in and said, find a grave.
Find a grave?
Yeah, that's her most bizarre app. And
So if you're in a cemetery?
She wrote, yes, I use it and even add records when I stroll through cemeteries. It's a must-have if you're into genealogy or prefer the company of the deceased over the living.
Find a grave.
Interesting.
I have one named Dub Smash. I assume that's a Dub Smash generator. I don't ever recall putting this on my phone.
Okay.
Now it says log in, and I don't know what my information is.
I'm going to go to...
And that's why it stays on my phone.
Hi, Frank. Good morning, Frank.
Howdy, bitches.
Hey. What's up, bitch?
So I had one called Am I Stoned?
Am I Stoned? Okay.
Yeah. It had like a bunch of little mini games, like memory challenge ones, and like would play like little clips of songs and would ask you like, how much did you like that song? And then like it would tell you how stoned it thought you were.
So gauging on your performance, it can tell you how high you are.
I mean, listen, if you bought it, you're already stoned. So that's basically, they're just like, you bought this, you're high as shit.
High as heck.
Sorry.
Yeah, no
I
problem.
got you.
All
All
right.
right, thanks, Frank.
That sounds interesting.
What was the one, Nick? Yeah, here you go. Somebody texted and said, most random app I have is called Ham Horn. Literally, it just yells ham.
Stop
I
it.
want that.
Really?
Wow.
Ham horn, it just yells ham? How could you
By the
not
way,
want that?
somebody texted in about that app you have, Steve, Touch of Modern.
Yeah.
And they said they sell some pretty cool crap, actually.
Yes. Now I'm reminded of it. I use it never.
Here's another one. Pete Gallo said the Rap Air Horn is the weirdest app he has. I don't know what that would be, the Rap Air Horn. Is there a specific air horn that gets played a lot in rap and hip-hop? I don't know.
Is that the one? Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Penis Parker. Yeah.
And that's the whole app. All right. So I have an app that I've never opened called it's called Diptic.
Okay.
DIPTIC.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what
And
it
you don't
is.
know what it is?
I don't know.
All right.
That's Diptych.
All
That's Diptych.
Here's one. Chris Aitken said, I have an app for my outside smoker. Basically can see the temperature of my meat while I sit on the couch.
Oh, that's
that would
cool.
be nice.
Wait,
What?
how?
There's got to be a sensor.
Yeah, wouldn't you just
But
check
yeah.
the sensor? I mean, like, what do you need an app for?
We can see
So
it
you don't
inside.
have to
So a
get up.
smoker sits outside for
Yeah. Oh, all
hours
right.
and hours and hours. So
Okay.
you're going to smoke all day
I
long.
see. All right.
And he can just keep an eye on the temp if he's not right there next to
I
it.
guess
He doesn't have to keep going out
Sure.
there.
Just
to
wheel it right over to the window so you can look out.
Steve, Diptych, it looks like it's some sort of like photo and video collage creator.
Well, it's very handy. I use it all the time.
Never used it
because
once.
Lord knows there's not any other app that allow you to do that. A lot of times you get these because, I'm going to use that, and then something becomes just part of the natural operating system of whatever you're using, and that's what they do. They buy up these apps and they just put them in anyway.
And sometimes apps are used as support apps. So like this
Exactly.
one, Lauren Dispot writes, I have one that is a guide to keep track of my inventory in Animal Crossing.
Okay.
So she's that into the game that
Yeah.
she needs a separate app that actually keeps track of the inventory on that game.
So I also have loads of apps that control my various headphones and earbuds and stereo receivers and TVs and all of that stuff.
So, Steve, let me ask you, if you have an app that you're paying for on your phone and you don't use it, you can't just delete that app and then stop paying for it?
Yeah,
Like,
no,
you have to go in and log in?
You have to log in and disconnect it. Nick, if I may recommend an app called Truebill that I never use.
Okay, I'll check that out.
And that'll help you have another thing that you're paying for and that you never use.
Okay.
I've got ones like, My Talking Pet, where you can take a picture of your dog and
Yeah.
make their mouth and add audio to it.
All apps should be like
which
that.
Which is kind of fun.
I got a new phone this year, and when I got the new phone, I use it as an excuse to clean out all the apps that I'm not using anymore. Do you guys do that?
I do.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah.
Oh, are you? All
I
right.
mean, there's so much crap that ends up, ported from phone to phone to phone. But there are some apps, like, for example, Nick, a lot of times it'll say, sponsored app or I forget how they refer to it, but there is a monthly fee involved with that app, a third-party app. What do they refer to it as?
I don't know, but I just opened a couple and saw that there was a fee, and I was like, well, I'm not paying this. I'm going to delete it.
Do you know where they are really like they'll hook, line, and sinker people as on those game apps, like the woman was mentioning with the app that keeps track of the inventory on her other game.
I have one here that says picture insect, so I can identify insects.
All right. Cockroach.
I have one called Spaces. I have no idea what it is.
Preston, how many
what is that?
How many space apps do you have? Like, I mean, literally looking at space. Like, 'cause you have the ISS one, right?
I've Go ISS, and then I have another one that checks all satellites.
Okay.
And then I have a planets one, which is where you just hold it up and you can see what planets you're looking at.
I have Night Sky X, and somebody texted in that as well. And you hold that up, you look at the constellations, and it tells you what you're looking at.
Hey, what was Cameo? That was something, right?
Oh yeah, what was
And
that?
Cameo was a was that a social?
Oh no! That's the cameos where
Yeah,
the,
where you can
okay,
buy,
all right.
right? Like a happy birthday
like a
party.
celebrity.
Oh yes, Greg, come on, of
Kate
course.
Flannery.
Yeah.
All right. Anyhow, let me go to Sean's been on hold for a while. Hey, Sean. Good morning.
Morning, y'all.
What's up, buddy?
So I have an app that is basically, it's just called Coin Flip app, and it's a picture of a quarter. And you click the quarter, and it makes a little ding noise when you flip the quarter, and it can either land on head or tail. So if you don't have any coins or quarters around, you use the Coin Flip app.
I like that.
Have you ever used it, like, for real?
I have used it to, if I can't decide whether to skip work or play hooky for a day, I have used the Coin Flip app.
Wow.
All right. Okay.
That's like there used to be.
Thanks,
they used to have a Zippo lighter app.
Yes.
Yeah.
That people would use it at concerts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hold it up instead of an actual lighter.
So there's a couple more here. This one says, this is from Ryan Ostrich, who said, or Osterich, Elfster. Which is a
Elfster?
great app to use for secret Santas. You can create a party.
Yeah.
So it has location and time, a wish list of things you like, and it generates the pics for you so it stays a secret. Only use it once a year, but really handy little app. So that's not a strange app. That's just that's a
Wait,
useful
but
one, I
what?
guess.
So, do you know the person that's putting out the gift ideas?
I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, of course. It seems very handy.
Here's one that says, Joe says, I have Cat Alone, which shows bugs, dots, lasers, and stuff moving around the screen for a cat to play with, and I used it on my iPad.
All right, I have an app that I don't ever remember putting on the phone and or using called Ember. Ember sound familiar to anybody?
Ember with
EMBER.
No, don't know
I'm
it.
looking it up right now.
All right, this is great. This is from there's an app this person wrote in called Arcadian Signal, or no, I'm sorry, this is who that's from. Arcadian Signal. It is called Sonic, and it is a high-pitched frequency emitter that I downloaded to drive a bat out of my house.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Ember Works apparently a mug that I got, Preston, that it keeps the coffee. Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
What
does it do?
It has an app attached to the mug that keeps the coffee. You know, when you
Keeps
sit
it
there,
warm?
to the temperature.
One mug.
and
need
an
that
app. So I got to sit there and I have to Steve Jobs my coffee to the right temperature.
If you turn that on now, is somewhere a mug warming up?
I don't even know what I did with the mug. I don't know where the mug is.
Oh, that's too funny, Steve.
Here we go. Lisa Carrington says she has an app called Air Traffic. It identifies and shows the flight path of planes and helicopters in real time.
That's
I've
cool.
done that
I
one.
like that one.
Yeah, I did that down the shore. I was bored one time, and it was just,
what do you get out of that, though?
No, well, about an hour of entertainment,
Right.
but basically watching, I was like, oh, that plane's leaving Boston and it's going to Fort Lauderdale. and you can do the same thing for ships moving up and down the Delaware River or in the ocean. Yeah, it's.
I do like that.
Yeah, it's dorky, but it's fun.
You know what? The flight tracker app, always great.
Yes.
You know, apps that you use all the time. That's one I rely on a lot. But yeah, a lot of these are also they're apps that. Here's one that is for a radio controlled Batmobile that I have in my house that I've never used.
You've never used it?
Well, I've never used this as a radio. I like to look at it.
Oh. Wait a minute.
He doesn't play with his toys.
You have a radio-controlled Batmobile and you've never driven it?
I drove it once or twice.
Okay.
But the tires get all dusty and the ones look pretty.
I got you. So this one is from Sean McCauley. He says, I have one called the B-Bird Ear Scope app. And I need it to sync to the scope's camera to see when you're scraping earwax. I used it once.
Ah, gross.
I used it once along with the actual scope that sits in my medicine cabinet. You know what, Sean? I have one of those too.
You do?
I've never used it. Rochelle got it for me. Yeah, it's this little camera, Kathy.
Yes.
With a little scoop thing on the end of it. And that way you can get down in there.
Can't you do it in like sinks as well?
And clean your ear out. I'm sorry?
Is it, I've seen a commercial where they have, it's one that you can put it in your ear, but you can also like put it down into a drain and see what's down there.
You could, I guess, but this one doesn't go very far.
Okay.
But if you have like a little, almost like a little roto-rooter type of snake thing.
Just for that.
I could see you using that.
Wait,
Yeah.
and so it has a little thing on the end of it, or you put a Q-tip on the end of it?
No, it has a little thing. It's got a
Okay.
little scoop that you take, and then you can clean it later on. I've never used it. I have it at home. I need to.
Odd, isn't it, that you would never use that?
I need to break that out. This one is from Rocco Benigno, and he says, I have the PAE docket court app that has everyone's legal records in Pennsylvania. And I pretty much just use it to play a game I call Who's This A-Hole? What's Their Deal?
I love it. What is some bizarre music? I have the theremin, which is this.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Do you have any? Were you as a musician? Do you have any?
I have a metronome.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Yep. So I definitely use that. So that's this.
You guys all went to
Mississippi Queen. And you can change the time signatures and
Hold on, what do you use it for?
practicing
singing
Okay.
mountain songs.
So if I have my drumsticks right here and I want to, oh Jesus,
That's good.
That's really good, man.
Do you set it up on the drum kit when you're at home?
I actually, you know why I downloaded that? Was at Camp Out for Hunger. Because I took a practice pad with me and I practiced while I was there. So I don't use this at home.
Okay.
My electronic drum kit has its own metronome on it. I have a ukulele tuner.
Yeah.
All right.
You do have a ukulele. Do you have a ukulele?
Yeah,
Do
but
you
I
have
haven't played it in
Probably because you
years.
bought that brand of ukulele.
Yeah, exactly. And that came with it.
Yep.
So
They all recommend you download the app, and then sometimes they won't. The device will not activate unless you register it on the app. They got you by the short hairs.
Right. Hold on. Let me see. I used to have a guitar tuner on here too, but I got rid of that.
I have that.
And I've got the Speech Jammer.
Speech Jammer's great.
Which we played around with for a while. I don't have any musical,
Theremin is the only one I have.
Yeah, I mean, you
I
can
did
get
have a piano.
keyboards and things like that, but I don't have any of that stuff. I think I have a sound effect generator, which I don't know why I downloaded that just to have some
Just to
goofy
screw
sound
around,
effects.
yeah.
But I'm here. Here's a dolphin. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Why
I don't
not?
remember.
Why not?
Because I'm
You are one pathetic loser.
or.
You are a huge nerd.
It's just, I don't know why.
Those are good.
I wanted sound effects, and it was free, and I got it.
I have the app. I think we downloaded for the show, Kathy, where you can see what you would look like with different types of makeup.
Oh, yeah.
Make app.
Yeah, I think I made Preston up to be a girl.
Pretty
once.
girl.
In case you guys were wondering, Miss May is off the coast of Long Island, and she was pinged yesterday.
By the way, there's I have a story coming up concerning sharks on the apps and off the East Coast.
How big does it give you the data?
Yep, she's
Measurements?
846 pounds.
Whoa.
She's 10 feet 2 inches. A female. She's a white shark, and pinged yesterday.
Is she the closest to us?
Yeah, she's the closest to us.
Do you have a period chart app?
I don't. I did at one point. I don't use it.
I'm wondering how common that is. Rochelle has one.
So on her phone when she's
Yeah.
Aunt Flo's in town.
Mm-hmm.
I think
and
it's-
it tracks and then lets you know when you might be when your menses might be.
I think it's pretty common because there's.
It's coming.
Well, but there's a number of reasons why women would want to track. If they're
Yeah.
trying to get pregnant, if they want to
Sure.
see if they're ovulating.
Yep.
Also, like women who are not, I guess, not super regular. You
Yeah.
know, they want to know around the time so they
Yeah.
don't have an accident while they're at work or like whatever.
Yeah, all good reasons.
Yeah, Rochelle's not super regular, and it's interesting how it correlates to how she really cycles, and it's
You got your spigot shut off though. You're in the clear, right?
Oh yeah, me? Yeah, I'm
yeah.
good to go. We don't have to worry about that.
No, but I mean, for the woman, like if she's out. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't detect sometimes exactly when it's going to come, but
Yeah.
like
Right now.
Yeah, Angela Oswald said, yeah, definitely the period chart. Got it for obvious reasons and to keep track of those special moments. And then she said, recently had a hysterectomy, so no longer use it, but it's still on my phone, so she still has it there. Bert Gallagher said the Mr. Softy app. I got it to see where that MRFer is, and it never works. So now I play the music for my kids to get them excited and then instantly disappointed.
Wait a second. What's the ice cream truck that you actually tie into with the app? You guys are raving about it.
It's Big Top.
Right.
Yeah.
Surfing Sundays.
Surfing Sundays.
So they let you know when they're right in the area.
No, we just text them.
You can text them.
Is that how it works?
And
Yeah.
they'll come see you.
Ah.
It's awesome. And they were at our Camp Out for Hunger. They were at the food trucks and fireworks event.
Yeah.
Here's one that says Becky Pierce has one called My Shake, and it tracks and keeps records of earthquakes all over the world. And I don't use it, but I look at it every once in a while.
I was hoping it was for milkshakes.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping.
Yeah.
I want a chocolate shake now.
My shake.
Let's see what else we have here. Catherine McGough says Labola calculator tells you how much you're worth in cows.
All
right.
Great conversation topic. All righty.
That's all good stuff.
Why not?
I like the poop thing because that for us is the closest to the Menzies calculator.
Mm-hmm. Fatify. This is from Patty Durachko. It says Fatify shows you what you look like 50, 100 pounds heavier. Really fun, actually.
Oh, I think we did that one
Oh,
day on the show.
Well, the old whatever the app is that makes you old, like I've done that, and I look like my dad.
I had this. It's called my photo album.
Mine actually, it said won't work.
Yeah.
You're already there.
And then this one says is from Tamika. She says, Big Bang Whip. Open the app, jerk your phone, and it sounds like you're cracking a whip.
Oh, yes.
That could be kind of fun.
I love that.
What is the name of
I
that?
want it.
It's called the Big Bang Whip.
Let's download it together, Kathy. Big Bang Whip.
Hey, does it matter? Now, you remember for a while earlier on in smartphone technology that you didn't want to go overboard on the apps because it would eat up data and so on?
Yes.
We're kind of past that, right?
Well, it's probably still there, but
Okay.
I prefer to pay for apps that I don't use, Preston.
But you can, like I've got pages and pages, but like not anywhere near filling up the capacity of my phone. I don't overdo it. Like Rochelle, I keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. She's got tons and tons of apps. I do a pretty good job of cleaning things out.
How old's your phone?
It is, I don't know.
I mean, because my last phone was an iPhone 6, and I think I have the 12 now or whatever. And the 6, like, if you have an older phone, you can only have so many apps.
Yeah, I think I've got the 10, so
okay, you're good.
I'm good. So
You can, by the way, listen, what they do, just know this. They build into the OS updates, they build into everything the more demand on your equipment, your hardware, to force you to purchase new hardware.
And
so
chargers, new chargers, too.
Chargers, the whole damn deal.
Sons of bitches.
Yeah, here's some
Mother
other text
effing bastard.
coming in. I have a dice shaker. Shake your phone, rolls 5 dice.
All right.
There you go.
What's the
Play
whip one
Yahtzee.
again, Preston?
What's the what?
What's the whip one again?
Big Bang Whip. But it says here, I'm looking at a screenshot of it. It says it's a full soundboard, so it has 500 plus sound effects on it. Ooh, I like that.
Big
All right,
Bang.
And it also says the Whip Sound app, I guess, which maybe you can shake it. And it
Do you have any sound machine apps that you use, like for sleep sounds or?
That is the one I use the most.
That's your most
right here.
essential, right?
And what's that one called?
Sleep Machine.
Sleep Machine. Okay, because I need a new one.
And I have so you build these custom sounds. That is a mixture of a fan on low and an air conditioner.
Nice.
And
So that's like white noise.
Yeah, and you can.
That would keep me awake.
What about this one,
off.
Kathy? Would this
sends
help you
me-
to go to sleep?
I love that app. It's a lifesaver to me.
I don't think you're ever, whenever we've gone to do anything anywhere, where that's the first thing you put on.
Yep.
Yeah.
When I lay under my desk to take a nap, I
put that on.
I put it
Yeah.
on. Absolutely.
When I lay under my desk.
It's called.
Just casually. When I lay under my desk.
And it just sounds normal.
When I
That's
hide,
really it.
when I hide in a box.
Dude, I think I lay on the floor here more than any of. Anybody
absolutely.
would,
Yes,
right?
you do.
Because you guys know I do my stretches on the
Right.
floor here in the morning before the show. I take naps right in there on the floor.
How come you didn't mention that during our induction into the National Radio Hall of Fame?
I should have done it.
You really should get like a Costanza bed under the desk. Like
He's
someone
actually, have you seen his rig?
No.
Oh, you haven't seen my rig?
His rig is actually pretty good.
I don't go in the office.
He's got a he does have a curtain.
I built that curtain.
Okay.
Yeah.
But don't you need a mattress at this point? Like you're in the Radio Hall of Fame.
I use a yoga mat,
May I recommend
All right.
something, Preston?
but I need one more. It's not quite.
Put a
thick
sleeping
enough.
bag under there.
No, I don't want a sleeping bag. I have a okay. So I have a yoga mat. I have a body pillow.
Okay.
I have a blanket, and then I have
Flashlight.
No, and then I have 2 little pillows, or one large pillow and one little pillow.
Which one do you hug?
The body pillow.
Okay, yeah.
That's
I'm
my
not making
whole
fun
body.
of
I
you.
wrap my legs around it.
Yes.
Anyone who sleeps under their desk knows that.
And then I have, and I bought a spring-loaded curtain rod and a little bracket
And a tub.
and I mounted it underneath the underneath my desk, and I can open and close. And I took drapes and I cut them to be the right size.
Dude,
And
you really made
They're
a
blackout
setup.
drapes,
And he makes the tub
and then I have a tub. Yeah,
part of a wall.
Yes.
So
So I keep all my stuff in the tub, and when I go down there and I take all the things out and I lay out my bed and I close the curtain, then I put the tub by my legs and it blocks some of the light coming in.
Press,
It's
if you go to
pretty
REI,
genius.
you could probably get a decent sleeping mat, right? Something
Okay.
that you would
All right.
use for camping or
Maybe
whatever.
I'll do that.
Do you
Won't
do
take
that?
up too much
Probably an
space.
app for this somewhere.
Yes,
I
yeah.
sleep under my desk.
desk
Do you
sleeping.
do that because you get tired and you have a drive home?
I do it because when I am most drowsy is right when the show is over.
Right.
And if I want the rest of my day to be somewhat productive, I should lay down right away, take 15 minutes, just take a little cat nap, and then I'm up and I'm ready to do what else I
Boom.
need to for the rest of the day. Because then by the time I drive home, I get even more drowsy, and then I want to take like an hour-long nap when
Okay.
I get home.
Got it.
So I think it's actually allows me to be more productive. Oh, my God, those things are like $150.
Oh yeah, they're not cheap.
You kidding me?
We're looking at a sleeping mat.
But go to the co-op. There's one right near Trinity Rehab. and they're you can get
Yeah, but you have
ones
to
that
be
are
a
much
member.
cheaper. Yeah,
Cheaper ones? All right.
Yeah, you know how you can be a member? The REI app.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you for those of you who chimed in on the most useless or bizarre app on your phone.
Yes, there are many of them.
And take a little trip down app lane today and see what all you've got in there, because I'm sure there's some interesting ones. We need to take a break. We're going to come back with a bizarre file, and we also have an assignment for you when we return.
Yes.
And you could win some really cool stuff, and we'll tell you about that when we get back. Stay put.
Preston and Steve
all correlated together that I probably hear that one the most.
That's Jason Kelsey.
Yeah.
I did notice something else.
More from the noticer. He notices so you don't have to.
I noticed
across an empty field, down the dark alley.
I do notice that I will use digital assistants from time to time. The two that I use are
Your fingers?
No.
And your toes.
Not those digital
Oh, I'm
assistants.
sorry.
Meaning Siri and Alexa. Those are the two that I use from time to time. Now,
Okay.
Alexa I mainly use for like a timer when I'm cooking, or music to listen to real quick, or something like that.
In your kitchen, do you have the show, the Alexa show? Which has the screen on it?
Oh. No.
It's actually very cool, especially if you're doing recipes or things of that nature.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyhow, there was a new study that finds which is the smartest of them all, and in what order. This is Loop Ventures. They did a study that had researchers ask the 4 digital assistants 800 questions, and they found all assistants were great at understanding the questions. And they have determined who actually answered the most questions.
I have them all, or have had them all. This sounds like I'm bragging about sexual conquest. But, yeah, so go through this. I'm curious to see if it lines up with what I experienced.
So they found that the smartest of them all is Google Assistant.
Okay, so that's what I learned, is that the ability to answer questions and questions contextually went to Google.
I can't stand when I ask Siri a question and she just gives me a bunch of websites to go to. I'm like, dude, just give me.
Do not like that. However, though, Google Assistant will most often default to Wikipedia.
There are obviously silly, ridiculous things that you don't need it for, but you use it for anyway.
I still do, yeah.
What do you think for you is the most practical purpose for using any of these?
Well, honestly, for the when I'm sitting, for example, if I'm sitting and I'm setting up something for the media. You know, I'm watching TV or whatever, and I'm looking down at something, or I need the lights on, or turning lights on and off.
Okay.
Playing music, playing
I think that's
the radio.
What I would use it for.
Playing. I walk into a room. I constantly use it for weather. I constantly use it. I'll get a quick news update.
Yep.
So I'm interfacing it with that. And if you look at if you find out on your app on your phone. It'll tell you your last 70 requests, and mine are always sort of the same thing.
Okay.
You know?
I mean, it records everything, so you can find out every single request that you've asked.
I am using them all the time throughout the day.
But you know what? Like, you're busy, Steve. I know somebody, Nick, who can probably come over to your place, who I think is in between gigs right now. Gary Lauer is not doing anything right now. His house is closed.
You know what? Honestly, you don't even need an echo. Just have Gary hands.
Yeah.
It's pretty hot out there.
Just have your own Gary.
I'll turn it on for you. Lights on.
All right.
Hey, Gary, lights on.
All right, 1 second. There you go. Gary, should I wear a sweater outside? I'll be right back. It's pretty chilly. Lauer.
Yeah, Lauer.
That's what it would be.
Yeah.
Hey, Lauer.
Because Gary would be too common.
Hey, Lauer, play Allman Brothers. Lauer, switch to Skinnerd.
Hey, Lauer.
Yes. Switch to Killers. Somebody told me.
All right.
Hey, Lauer, play MMR.
Well, don't you have to kind of have like a bing bong prompt?
Yeah.
You know.
Hey,
Lauer,
working.
play "Summer Breeze" by Seals and Crofts.
Summer breeze.
I met a guy.
Bill parties hard.
I met a guy.
Let's do some heroin
at our gig the other night who is Bill's neighbor. And he told me you should hear Bill at church because Bill is a lector.
He's a lector, yes.
And so he speaks at church. Can you imagine being at church and you hear the other people that are kind of speaking like this, and Bill steps up to the microphone.
And then Jesus.
I didn't know this.
Oh, yeah.
Said Peter, you'll be the third leg of the stool.
Yes.
The word of the Lord.
The Romans are the low-hanging fruit in this scenario. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do.
David actually slung some fruit instead of a rock.
Who had the roast beef?
But,
I give this resurrection an A+.
But listen, in my short amount of time that I was going to a Catholic church, my wife is Catholic, and the priest initially spoke at such a level, and you guys know my hearing.
Oh, yeah.
I sat there. I'm like, what am I even doing here?
What is he saying?
What is the point of me being
Honestly?
here? I don't hear anything.
You would want a Bill Weston. You'd want someone who projects.
Yeah. It was just I'm like, the whole time I think this is a waste of time.
Listen to me, Preston.
We've got a priest at our parish that performs each Sunday.
Oh, it's about him then, huh?
He's very nice. He shakes everybody's hand afterwards, and he's a nice. But it's.
I'm going to improve
on
the Word of God.
And you want to be able to hear. You can come to my church, Preston.
Right.
Okay.
Does he do close-up magic as well?
No, but he's interactive.
Yeah,
the kids get to come up on.
Watch me kick the cap off this bomb. Now, as Jesus kicked the Canaanites.
Steve, he kicks the bottle. He gives the cap off of the wine.
Snuffs out the candles.
That could work too.
Yes.
That could work too. I mean, who wouldn't find that entertaining?
Kicking a few Eucharists into the mouth. Watch this.
When I was on
Hold that Eucharist talk about just so. You can travel down a street named after you. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think a statue would be more awesome.
You like a statue?
I think
on top of a horse with a raised sword?
Yeah, with rearing
That's
up.
Preston Elliott.
Yeah, rearing up. Both of its front hooves in the air.
Yes.
I'd love to have that.
Wait a second.
He fought in the Civil War?
What does that mean? There's a difference.
It doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean nothing.
There was a long-standing myth, at least this is what I've read, that it would depend on if there was one leg raised or two, whether they died in battle or, but...
Oh, I heard completely other.
Apparently that's
I heard gay, not gay.
You're gay or not gay?
Gay general.
Gay general. Oh, she's on one foot.
Ladies and gentlemen, this general was gay because both the horses' front hooves are up. I don't think that's accurate. No, trust me.
No, it's true.
Yeah, I read a book.
Yeah.
What does it mean when all four hooves are on the ground?
Polyamorous.
Yeah, exactly. They could anything.
Anything goes.
They're just looking for love. All right, so they're gonna fix that.
By curious. If they're standing alongside the horse.
Thank you, Kathy. You know what's interesting is sometimes when just by knowing that something still exists, even though you don't really use something any longer, can be comforting. And then when you find out when that thing is going away, even though you haven't used it for a long time, it's very sad.
What?
Mad Magazine is going to stop publishing issues this fall.
Yeah.
And we were subscribing a few years ago, like 3-4 years ago. My kids, like one of them picked up, saw a Mad Magazine, got it, liked it. And I'm like, oh, done deal. We're signing up for this. I love Mad Magazine. Mm-hmm. And we haven't been subscribers for a couple of years. But when I heard this, I was so bummed out. I loved Mad as a kid. It was just my favorite thing to get in the mail.
Likewise, Mad Magazine was the best. I also got Cracked Magazine.
I did too.
Then I progressed into the National Lampoon. Mm-hmm. So that was, and that helped instruct my comedic chops along the way. So many comedians, so many people, just people in general who love humor, loved Mad Magazine because it was a subversive comic book for kids. Adults read it too, but it was obviously
because it would flirt with adult material.
It would all the time.
Not blue material, but it would
political movie parody stuff like that. But it was very cool, and it had a litany of great artists and features. Spy versus Spy. You had
Don Martin,
Mort Drucker, Al Jaffe. The fold out, the fold in, as they called it in the back, you would have a picture, you could fold it to become another picture. Alfred E. Neumann, of course, a legendary character. They had the TV series. But man, when that would come in the mail,
Do you still subscribe to any magazines? You get magazines?
Last magazine I used to get at home was because we signed up for one of our family members was selling subscriptions, so we were getting Entertainment Weekly, and then that sort of went away. But in my heyday, I subscribed. I used to get Famous Monsters of Filmland, Starlog, Fangoria, National Lampoon. I was getting lots of magazines at home fairly frequently.
I used to get Entertainment Weekly for work.
Oh, yeah.
I used to get that, but I still subscribe to a couple. I'm Golf Digest and Golf Magazine.
There you go.
I still want the hard copy magazine in there. I have a hard time reading magazines, a full magazine online. You know what I mean?
On the crapper.
Now articles, I can see, picking up here and there through aggregator sites and stuff like that. But if I want to dive into a full magazine, what they have to offer, I still need the hard copy. So, did you ever subscribe to dirty magazines? Because I did. The only one I ever had.
Playboy.
I had a prescription. God knows I needed it.
Son, you need something for your boner. Take 2 Hustlers and at night cut it in half. Cut Beaver magazine in half.
I had a subscription to Playboy, but that's the only one that I could ever. That one I could get away with.
You could,
but
though.
You're not embarrassed about it.
I couldn't
right?
subscribe. Penthouse, maybe. But then when you get into your Hustlers and We and, whatever the other magazines Cherry.
Wouldn't it blow your mind that people would get home delivery? Because I remember, there were subscription cards in these things for the other magazines. Like, who's getting Sweaty Vagina magazine at home? Here's your bills, and that looks like a good issue. Now, obviously, they would seal them specifically for the mailing, but still, you could tell what it was.
I never had subscriptions. The only one that I had were there's other two I mentioned earlier, but I was totally into scary movies when I was younger. So Fangoria, what was the other one?
There was Fangoria, there was Starlog, there was Famous Monsters of Filmland, there was, like I said, the Monster Times was another one of them. Another one? Am I missing them?
You're missing one. There was Fangoria, not Fantasia. It was
Biggins?
Jugs, and they're
areolas.
People that are reminding us the names of
Butthole.
Some of the other. I subscribe to Butthole magazine.
What's this one about?
It's a picture of a guy with a pipe. I'm a butthole reader. For this Christmas, give Dad what he wants. Butthole.
Steve, what are you reading?
I'm reading Butthole, Preston. Telling me how I can set up my stereo. Apparently, you have to run the cords through your butthole.
Oh, yes.
Oh, what are you reading there?
Oh, I was just reading Butthole magazine, telling me how to get a more effective home theater. Apparently, it works better if you put the cord through your butthole.
Oh,
my God. Oh, this is the 10 tastiest cheeses for the holidays. Many of them are better if you put them in your butthole. Some guy with an ascot on.
Everything.
Lord Buddington.
An ascot.
An butthole. An abscot. Oh my God. Okay. You know what? I think now that I'm reminiscing, fondly about Butthole magazine. No, I'm pretty certain it had to have been Mad Magazine. Had to have been my very first subscription to anything.
I'm going to say likewise.
Yeah.
I loved it so much, and there's just. Do you remember when you would see something in it, and it's not like you could do today. Obviously, you would look at this. You'd lend the magazine.
I never read it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Unfortunately, the only thing that I know that what you're talking about is Alfred E. Neumann and that little thing in the back.
But Preston,
Yeah, the fold.
so Case, not only would you have the picture in a lot of these cases, but what you would love is in the background there'd be like flies with little fly lines around them.
Yeah.
Or there'd be these little things that they would do to just augment the picture that made it great.
Yeah, agreed. And
the artists were great.
There were almost little Easter eggs throughout as well, and outside of the frames
All
and
over the
things like
place.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you really had to. You could spend a lot of time reading the magazine. It wasn't just you pick it up and tear right through it. I mean, I would hang on to them and go back and see things that I would miss the first time around.
I remember laughing out loud, as a kid, and one of the first times really laughing that profoundly, and that carried over to National Lampoon, which again, great memories of that. And Nick, you saw the documentary about
with Will Forte.
Yeah, and there
Phenomenal.
I remember they did a piece on. It was an old style brochure for the largest ocean liner ever built. I think it was called the Tyrannic. And the artist illustrations were done in that sort of Art Deco style, where, I mean, they drew the ship on such an enormous scale that you were just howling with laughter.
Yeah.
You can't describe it. You have to see it. But to have that reaction from a magazine that you're sitting there, to read something and laugh that loudly is just... You don't get that.
Listeners, because there's an idea that came up last week. I had a story about Miller High Life, and they were creating a dive bar gingerbread. All right, so it was a gingerbread dive bar. That's a better way to put it. A gingerbread dive bar. And I thought it was so great. I saw the rendition of it, and it looked so clever and awesome and fun. And I love gingerbread houses.
So do I.
I think they're great. I'm not any good at creating them. Or putting them together, but there are some people who just have a knack for that type of thing.
Right.
They could either be, they're just hobbyists or artists or culinary experts. And so we want to put a challenge to you. We are putting forth the Preston and Steve Gingerbread WMMR Studio Challenge. And we have $500 to give away for the winner of this. So there's some
Pretty
incentives.
nice.
So what we would like you to do is use your creativity, get all the little items, and you can go ahead and do some searches and find out what works well when it comes to gingerbread houses, but use all kinds of candy and create whatever your version is of a Preston and Steve or WMMR studio gingerbread studio.
So it doesn't have to be an exact replica of what we have.
No.
Take a flight of fancy.
Yes. However you want, you just make a radio studio out of candy, gingerbread, things like that. You can have, I think it'd be great to see a Pierre Robert, a gingerbread Pierre Robert.
With a snow-capped turntable.
Something like that. Whatever you want to do. You can include us in it, or it can just be a studio, however you want to do it.
Jackie Bam Bam.
Make it WMMR. Oh, it lends itself to you could do Jackson and Sarah and anybody, and just create it, because there's $500 up for grabs. You can visit for all the information the Gingerbread Studio contest page at PrestonandSteve.com to enter. So the deadline will be Tuesday, December 21st, the day that we're doing the Preston and Steve Christmas Miracle. So
Excellent.
I want you to, if you can't do this, but you know someone who this is perfect for, let them know about it, okay? And you can go online and find videos or pictures of our studio if you want to make it like our studio can, or just any generic studio, but just make it WMMR.
Have the people you know who can do this bake it for you.
Yeah.
Build it for you. Enter it. Don't tell them you won.
No.
And keep the money for yourself.
Yes, you could do that.
Right?
It's completely up to you, however you want to do it.
If you want to be a loathsome individual.
And we will post all of the photos on PrestonandSteve.com. So I thought this would be kind of fun.
I love it.
To throw it out there to our audience, to see your creativity in action.
And I think creativity is the key. It doesn't matter if you're a master baker. Just be creative.
Yeah, it doesn't have to taste good.
No.
No.
It can taste like crap.
It's got to look cool. And it can be to whatever scale you want it to be. We are leaving the creativity in your hands.
Is it suggested that it be 1-to-1 scale, or?
I'd say no.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you have enough time and money to put that together, go ahead and make it 1-to-1. That's fine.
Probably a little smaller would be better.
But we just we know that there are so many talented and creative people that listen to this show that you certainly can put something like this together. And so details, like we said, at PrestonandSteve.com. It is a gingerbread studio contest, and I think this can be a lot of fun. So we'll see what you come up with. All right, in the meantime, let's do the Bizarre File.
Bizarre. WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, it's brought to you by WPHL TV. Young Sheldon joins Big Bang Theory on PHL 17. Weeknights at 7 and 9:30. Family night every night is on PHL 17. I got tons of great stories for you guys today. We'll start with this one. The bomb squad was called to Gloucestershire Royal Hospital on Thursday after a patient was admitted with a mortar shell stuck in his rectum.
A mortar shell in his butt.
Yep. Troops from the 11 Explosive Ordnance Disposal Regiment rushed to the Gloucester Hospital after being notified by police that a patient had presented with a munition in his rectum. The man was a military enthusiast who found the shell while clearing out, but somehow tripped and fell on the 57 millimeter piece of Army ordnance that landed him in the hospital. The 57 millimeter mortar round was used by the Royal Artillery in the Second World War as anti-tank rounds, although it would later also be used by British tanks in North Africa. These rounds measure at 57 millimeters in diameter and an eye-watering 170 millimeters in length. The police said, we can confirm an Army Explosive Ordnance Disposal team was called to Gloucestershire at the request of local police. As with any incident involving munitions, the relevant safety protocols were followed to ensure that there was no risk to patients, staff, or visitors at any time.
At that point, I would just want it to go off.
The unsteady patient was released from the hospital and is expected to make a full recovery so long as he does not trip and fall onto any more artillery
So how did you
shells.
fall on this again?
Mm-hmm. All right, a group of friends dug up a man's corpse to take him out on one last motorcycle ride.
Aw, man.
Eric Cedino's pal claimed to have received permission from his parents for his funeral in Ecuador to remove him from his coffin to carry out the strange act.
How long had he been dead?
You know what? I don't know about that, Steve. Not very long.
12 years.
Reports say around 7 men are shown surrounding a motorcycle as a lifeless body is hoisted up onto the passenger seat. The men were recorded cheering and waving their arms with excitement. The body flops onto the driver's back.
Oh, my God.
Another man was seen clinging to the corpse tightly before the motorcycle takes off. The group of men claim that they wanted to pay tribute to their friend and say goodbye as they should with the trip, and also sprayed alcoholic beverages on the coffin.
Hey, there's no better way to pay tribute than to desecrate his corpse.
The 21-year-old passed away last weekend after he was reportedly shot while on the way to a loved one's funeral. Police said that this is the first time that this has happened in the city and described it as an abhorrent and unhealthy activity. None of the people who took the body has been detained by authorities. An investigation has not been opened into the incident, as the funeral is considered a private event and there have been no complaints.
So did they ever verify if the parents did give the go-ahead?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
All right.
In some parts of the world, digging up the dead is customary to take care of deceased relatives and friends.
I don't like that.
Yeah. Officials are investigating after a Southwest airline passenger got out of a plane while it was landing at Phoenix Sky Harbor early on Saturday morning.
You're supposed to wait till it stops, right?
Yeah. Southwest says that the flight was coming from Colorado Springs when a passenger on board, later identified as 30-year-old Daniel Ramirez, got out of the plane through a rear galley door as it was taxiing to the gate. The airline says that at that point, the captain stopped the plane and notified the air traffic controllers. Phoenix fire crews say that Ramirez walked over to a nearby fire station where he locked himself in a dormitory room. Firefighters were able to get him to unlock the door a few minutes later, and he was taken to the hospital for his injuries. It's not clear how he was able to get out of the plane. Ramirez has been booked on 2 felony counts of trespassing.
By the way, if you're in the galley, even the plane up high, that's a decent distance to jump.
Agreed. Okay, got a story for you here, gang. A couple has sued Texas assistant football coach Jeff Banks and his girlfriend, Danielle Thomas, saying Thomas's monkey bit their child in the backyard of Banks's house on Halloween night.
Same old story.
And by the way, this story keeps getting better as it goes along.
So the monkey bit the kid on Halloween night.
The lawsuit was filed on Thursday on behalf of Amy and Casey Klinkenbeard and their child.
Was the kid dressed as a banana?
It seeks damages for gross negligence and defamation. According to the lawsuit, the child, identified as CC, was trick-or-treating with two friends on Halloween and was invited to attend a haunted house. The lawsuit says that after completing the haunted house, the child and his friends were taken to a monkey that Thomas kept in the backyard.
Take him to the monkey.
According to the complaint, the child was told the monkey was trained to give high fives. Instead of giving a high five, Daniel Thomas's monkey aggressively bit down on Cece's hand and refused to let go. Cece was forced to manually pry the monkey's jaw open. There was so much blood that Cece was unable to see the full extent of the injury. The child's hand was treated by a physician who lived nearby. The lawsuit says the doctor and another neighbor went to Thomas to discuss the incident. The doctor told Thomas that a report would have to be filed with the health department and that additional information on the monkey's vaccination status,
just write monkey on the bottom,
would be appreciated so that an appropriate course of treatment for CC could be decided. Well, according to the lawsuit, instead of showing any semblance of care for an injured child, Danielle Thomas was instead worried about the risk of her monkey being taken away. Danielle Thomas stated to the physician that the monkey had bitten her before and that she was fine, implying that the monkey therefore did not have rabies.
Okay.
The lawsuit says Thomas has not provided the monkey's vaccination records to the child's family. Thomas is also identified as Pole Assassin in the lawsuit. Her stage name is a dancer.
So she's a stripper.
She once appeared on the Jerry Springer Show with the monkey, by the way.
Oh, okay. So the monkey's an entertainer.
The lawsuit alleges that Thomas, in an effort to discredit CC and his family and protect the monkey,
when Miss Pole Assassin approached the bench,
made false statements on social media that the child didn't have permission to be on the property and she had instructed her guests to not enter the area where the monkey stayed. In a series of tweets that have since been deleted, Thomas wrote shortly after the incident, "I had a haunted house on the side gated off. He had no permission to go past the gate. I had no idea he went in my backyard. Neither did I know anything about a bite."
Well, the stripper and the monkey think you were trespassing.
Until a doctor of a neighbor told me that he had to treat a small bite. No parent have contacted me about it. A 11 to 12-year-old child should know better than to enter someone's yard without permission and old enough to also follow the rules. She said the rules were when you get to the gate, turn around and come back out for candy. Every other parent and child did so. She has since deleted her entire Twitter account.
Yes, it's a little convoluted.
Banks
what did the monkey say?
Just completed his first season of Texas assistant head coach, tight ends coach, and special teams coordinator.
I just do what the stripper tells me.
I thought it was an interesting little
that's
story.
a little slice of heaven there.
Oh, man, I still have one really good one. I guess we'll hold on to that.
It's hard to top that one.
So later on, there's a really good one coming up. I'll get to that later on. All right, and that is it in the Bizarre File for you. Let's take a break. Let's come back in a second, and let's give away a Christmas miracle or two.
It's a Christmas miracle!
Yes.
Yeah!
We'll take callers 15, 16, and 17. All right, 15, 16, 17. You got to be at least 21 and able to join us on the 21st at Parks Casino. You never know. You might get chosen to go up onto the podium and play our contest to win some great prizes. You can bring a friend, but only you are qualified to be a part of the contest. So let's take those callers. And don't forget, it's a Miller Lite Ugly Sweater edition of our party. So wear your ugly sweater because you might win some goodies. 215-263-WMMR, 15, 16, 17. We'll be right back. The magazine hadn't published 550 issues prior to its reboot, by the way, which was in 2018, I believe. DC purchased Mad Magazine in 2017, but they're going to hang it up. At its height, it had 2.8 million subscribers.
Now they took
which was in like 1973, I think.
They took a big hit when editor Max Sherman went over to handle the chores at Butthole. And,
yes, exactly.
Do you know what you're getting into over there at Butthole?
Oh my God, Butthole Magazine. Someday.
Yeah, I'm curating their wine list.
Yeah.
Apparently, it tastes better when you drink it out of someone's butthole.
But it's sad. It's sad that it's going away, even though I haven't, actively been a subscriber for a couple of years. But nonetheless. Anything from Silicon Valley to Patriots Day to Crazy Rich Asians to It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The list goes on, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jimmy O Yang.
Yeah.
How you doing, Jimmy?
Morning. I'm doing well. It's
Excellent.
great.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Patriots Day, you were fantastic in.
Thank you so much. Sadly, not a lot of people watched it.
Your character was the one who was kidnapped, held hostage by those guys, and eventually escaped and alerted the police. Hey, I know where these guys are. I know who they are. I didn't know that story.
Yeah, that guy was amazing.
Yeah.
Danny Mang, Chinese immigrant, college student, and this is about, of course, the Boston Marathon bombing.
Yeah.
And I bugged him every other day. Spoiler alert, he stays alive, in the movie.
Yeah.
So I bugged him every day when I was in Boston, and we had dinner, like went to Chinatown every other day. He was a really nice, warm guy, and he came to the premiere and tapped me on the shoulder. He's like, hey, I think you did a great job.
There you go.
Is stand-up comedy where you kind of started, or acting, or where'd you begin?
That's where everything started. I started doing stand-up at the Ha Ha Comedy Club. In L.A. I had to pay $5 for 5 minutes of stage time.
You were born in Hong Kong, correct?
I was born in Hong Kong, yeah.
Came here. I know you have a book called How to American, An Immigrant's Guide to Disappointing Your Parents.
Yes, that's true.
And so you're working at a financial firm, or where was it?
Yeah, it was Smith Barney, which was under Citigroup. And I graduated 2010 from college, which is right after the financial crash of 2008.
It's a perfect time.
Nobody in finance was hiring, and nobody was going to trust a 22-year-old kid with their money.
Right.
So my dad hooked me up with an internship, and like one day he came home, like he was like, Jimmy, great news. They're going to hire you full-time. You're going to be a great financial advisor. And literally like tears of joy was coming out of his eyes. And I thought that was just the worst news ever. Like that to me sounded like a death sentence, And I just didn't know how to tell him. And I was like, I don't want to do this, I had to like disappoint my parents in order to not disappoint myself.
Yeah.
Like, that was the creed that I lived by. So after college, I did that internship for a little bit just to appease my dad, and then after that, I got 3 jobs. In when I graduated, I was a used car salesman. I worked at a comedy club as a doorman in exchange for stage time, and then I was a strip club DJ at night. So I did all those 3 things, still not knowing what I wanted to do. But there was no customers in that club, so nobody ever did.
What was it? Were you doing like day stripping, or was it the night stripper?
It was night stripping. It was after my comedy club show. There was no prime time in that club at any time. I started off with just a stand-up community, which I thought was so cool. That's one of the main reasons why I did stand-up.
So you've seen Bobby Lee's penis then?
Sadly, no. I feel a bit left out.
Wow.
I feel a bit
That
left
guy
out.
gets naked every time he comes in this studio.
Oh, really? I've been to his house, and he still has not shown me his penis.
Like, we're not even Asian.
We're closer friends, yeah.
I know.
We're not
There must
even in
be
the
something
club.
wrong with me. Maybe he only shows penis to white people.
It might be that.
That might be it.
And he tells you guys about, listen, here's what I do with the white. Whip it out.
But yeah, like Bobby was somebody I looked up to. I watched Matt TV religiously. Steve Byrne was somebody I looked up to. Ken Jeong, and now we're all like really close and good friends.
That's great.
Ken, of course, was in the movie.
Yeah,
it's great.
And we all love each other. And doing this movie, one of the greatest thing, was I felt like I found my creed. Of actors, comedians, because we all kind of went through the same phase of disappointing our parents to do this job. We all had the same experience. And, like, when we're hanging out in Singapore, there was no questions of, like, hey, can we go to Chinese food? Like, look, it's not, like, weird Chinese food. It's just like, no, everybody was just down. We're going to authentic Chinese food, and we did karaoke every night. Everybody was just on the same page, and it felt so good.
Did you do work with the Harlem Globetrotters?
Oh, man. People ask me that. It was one of my very first paid jobs ever. So the Harlem Globetrotters, they go to China for like a world tour every year.
Right.
And I was like one of the only Chinese American comedians they could find. This was like 10 years ago. And I was the only one they could afford, I guess. They paid me $200.
To do what exactly?
To be a consultant. So they sent me the script for the Chinese tour to make sure nothing's offensive.
Oh.
Okay. Honestly, I didn't even read the script.
You're good to go.
I didn't know. I was like, that was my first job as a comic. I didn't know. And I skimmed through the script. There's something about, like, they bring out, like, a Hello Kitty thing, in the middle of their show. I just told them for $200. I was like, dude, Hello Kitty's Japanese, not Chinese. Okay, just so you guys know that. And that was it. That was my $200 worth of advice. And now on my Wikipedia says that I wrote for the Harlem Globetrotters. So.
Silicon Valley, they know we're not on their radar. They
Yes and no. My dad understands comedy a little better than my mom. Like, he loved it. My mom watched it for the first time. He's like, "Hey, Jimmy, can you not hunch it back?"
He's correcting your posture?
Yeah, I was like, "Ma, I'm playing a character in the show." It's like, "Okay, play someone who doesn't hunch his back."
Another day, another Korn story. Korn has announced that the band will release its 13th studio album, The Nothing, on September 13th. The follow-up to 2016's The Serenity of Suffering has been preceded by a first single called You'll Never Find Me, which arrived on Wednesday.
Again.
Oh, okay. Jonathan Davis said, deep within our Earth lives an extraordinary force.
He's right.
Very few are aware of the magnitude and significance of this place where good and evil, dark and light, bliss and torment, loss, gain, and hope and despair all exist as one, pulling at us every moment of our lives.
Welcome to the deep, dark caverns of energy. You are here because of Korn, yes? You are one of us. You make the hallowed sound.
It's not something he
Everyone.
It's not something that we can choose to navigate, he says, but...
What a bunch of crap.
And it's the only place where balance between these dynamic and polarizing forces exists, where the soul finds its refuge. Welcome to The Nothing. Did you just make that?
I just made that.
Put it at the beginning.
One more time.
Yeah, all right.
We are in the nothing. Play the ceremonial sound. Enter.
Oh, that's like the password.
Yes, yeah. It's Open Sesame.
Okay.
You have approached the boulder of truth. To enter the hall of Korn, you must emit the sound of recognition. Proceed.
Slowly, the boulder rolls to one side.
Enter.
This is as stupid as it gets.
Davis is living.
Hi!
Come on in.
Come on in!
I love songs like that are just, oh my God, you just said it.
Yeah.
You just said it so plainly, not a lot of, flowery language or metaphors. You just said it straight out. You know, I love
I know
that.
one that comes immediately to mind that actually, when I had gone through a breakup, laid it out, and I was like,
I know
got
what it is.
Say it.
Heart of the matter?
You got it.
I knew it.
It's the economy of words.
Telling you.
The message.
Yeah.
It nailed it.
I agree. Don Henley.
Yeah.
And it's so plainly speaks. And he managed to make it all rhyme.
And he
too.
made it rhyme!
How the hell do you do that? These guys. Yeah. But I wanted to throw this out as a subject of the song that gave you the strength, whatever it was. Jim, you're on the air. Good morning.
Hey, guys. Good morning. How are you?
Good. What's up, Jim?
Hey, so 15 years ago, I was working for Johnson & Johnson, and we were working on a new Tylenol product, that's Tylenol Rapid Release Gels.
Yeah.
So I'm down in Puerto Rico. I was down there for about 18 months, away from my family, the whole deal. And we were having a lot of technical problems. We're really dejected because we're thinking we're going to have to tell them to delay the launch and everything. And we're winding up the day around 8 o'clock at night. We're on our way to a small hole-in-the-wall restaurant, and as we're walking into the restaurant, we hear Rocky Going the Distance.
It's
and so forth. And
you got a headache? Are you ready? You got a headache? You want an immediate relief? Then you got to have Tylenol. Rapid release! Come on! Rapid release! You can't wait? Your head hurts!
But
it
Jim,
was the weirdest thing, and in Puerto Rico of all places too. It was hilarious.
Regular Excedrin stinks.
But it gave you the strength because you were missing your daughter, and you just to keep on going, right?
I love you. Exactly.
I miss you so much. But Daddy's working out. Rapid release Tylenol!
Down here in Puerto Rico.
Oh my God!
You can't come home right now. It's with the Puerto Ricans trying to mix the rapid release Tylenol.
I hope no one's calling in for sympathy.
Not gonna get it.
Because when you got your head, it feels like it's a punching bag. You gotta have immediate relief.
Yeah. Well, listen, it could.
What's that up on the roof? It sounds like a seizure.
You have to take a few Tylenol, for that. Maybe like a billion.
But it's like a billion.
Yeah.
Does shut down your kidneys?
An artificial tongue that can taste minute differences between varieties of Scotch whiskey could be the key to identifying counterfeit alcohol.
I was watching this story yesterday, and I guess the guy who invented it, Preston, has a really thick Scottish brogue.
Yeah, so they're engineers from the University of Glasgow and Strathclyde in Scotland that created this. Yes.
So and it can. The whole purpose is to distinguish knockoff Scotch, basically
counterfeit alcohol.
Wow.
Well, because you're talking about big money when it comes to
also
some brands of alcohol.
Listen, Angus, I'm taking this home for the weekend. It's the missus's birthday.
Yeah, it's the artificial tongue.
Here, sit on this for about an hour.
The study
you'll be seeing Israeli parasites in no time.
Involving arranging submicroscopic slices of the two metals in a checkerboard pattern of taste buds.
Look at that tongue go.
Which are around 500 times smaller than those on a human tongue.
So
the scientists measured the plasmonic resonance, or the tiny difference in how much light they absorb, to identify the types of whiskey.
Will this be the companion piece to the fleshlight?
Maybe, or the Sibian. It could be used in food safety testing, quality control, security,
frat parties,
really any area where a portable, reusable method of tasting would be useful. But one whiskey expert cast doubt on the artificial tongue's effectiveness. Charles McLean.
This is a crock of crap.
A master.
You and your stupid tongue. I see right through your ruse, you knob niffler. That's a Scottish insult.
Knob niffler?
I just made it up.
It is now. You knob niffler.
Niffling knobs all day.
No, his title is he is a master of the quaich.
You're a master of the quaich.
The Scotch.
You wee weenied prick.
The Scotch whiskey industry's highest accolade.
Oh, it's a compliment I just paid you. I didn't even know it.
Is master of the quaich, by the way.
You're a master of the quaich.
Master of the queef.
And your wife is a master of the queef. Yeah, I said you tongue-building ass.
He said flavor assessment in the whiskey industry is done by smell.
WMMR.
Thanks, Kath. If you're just tuning in, we issued a challenge to you. It's the Preston and Steve Gingerbread Studio Challenge. So we want you to build a gingerbread house, but make it the WMMR Studios.
Whatever you want.
However you want to do it. The creativity is up to you. It can be as detailed as you want. You can have our studio with all the members here, or you can just make a generic radio studio and include WMMR, maybe Pierre, some of the staff members here to remember. Whatever you want to do, we have $500 for the winner.
Let me throw out something.
Yeah.
You make a studio/dungeon.
Yeah.
Right?
Whatever you want to do.
Whatever you want to do.
And you can visit Gingerbread Studio contest page at PrestonandSteve.com to enter. The deadline is Tuesday, December 21st. So you got a little bit of time to play with it. So you can maybe a little trial and error and see what works and what doesn't. But if you know a creative type who would be great at this, go for it. And I got the idea from the Miller High Life dive bar, gingerbread dive bar.
It was great.
That was a great idea.
Yes.
So let's do a gingerbread studio. and put it up to you to wow us, and then we'll pick the winner.
By the way, the in the gingerbread dive bar that they did, they have these lights which are now really common. They just came out a couple of years ago, but they're super tiny.
Yeah.
But to scale, they look awesome.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. They ran them through their dive bar.
Yep. However you want to do it, we want to see your creativity. So get on that if you can, please. So the Unicode Consortium has revealed a new report that details which emoji were the most used in this year.
We're going to be getting the end of the year list. So
This is their job, yes.
We've talked about this before. You are not big on the emojis. Neither am I. I use a couple.
Yeah, that's it. I use a handful of them from time to time, and I don't overdo it. And when I see a whole string of emojis, I'm like, this is too much work.
I don't want to read this.
I'm not going to try and figure out what I don't find it as a fun little code breaking thing. I find it annoying.
You'll see them now. A lot of times they'll use emojis to get around restrictions on social media. For example, on TikTok, they will use a corn and a star if someone is a porn star.
Really?
Yeah, that happens fairly often.
Corn star.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the again, I'm like you, Preston. I wouldn't be good at solving puzzles written on the side of a cave wall.
I think emojis are great to respond via
Quickly?
text. Well, no. When you don't really have anything else to say.
All right.
Okay. It's like, okay, this
thumbs up.
This text message deserves some sort of response.
Yeah. No, I
I
agree.
just don't have the energy to fully respond.
So with thumbs up is a common, yes?
Thumbs up are
Agreed.
good, yeah.
Good.
Case, my brother's got a great one when he doesn't know what to do, when he doesn't know how to respond. He, instead of doing like the big eyes wide emoji, he creates it so it's the eyes, and then
Okay.
he does the separate nose and then the mouth, and he sends it in three
It's a lot
different
of work.
texts. Yeah.
So the report includes both smileys or emotion-related emoji as well as emoji based on other objects, actions, and sports, among others. The report reveals that which do you think is the most
heart
used emoji? The heart was second place.
I would actually. Well, okay.
Smiley
So if you're
face.
going with heart, I use heart eyes a lot.
Well, what about the one you think is used the most? Then the other one is maybe the laugh out loud, the laughing face,
Yeah.
or smiling.
Yeah, either smiling or laughing.
I say smiling.
It's the tears of joy emoji.
Oh,
There you go.
God, I use
Well,
it.
that's when you're
all the time.
it's laughing until you cry, right?
That is my go-to, and I use the straight-faced one and then the one with the tilted head because there's two of them. So I do one and then the other. That's like my standard response.
So a lot of times in if I'm writing or whatever app I'm using or whatever program I'm using, I'll do the colon and the parentheses for the
Right.
smile, and then it will convert it into a
Yeah. So, the heart emoji was second, and the tears of joy accounts for over 5% of all emoji used, while the heart emoji comes a close second. All other emojis are far behind that, though. The next most used emojis through the year were essentially the one that's the crying, laughing, but the head is kind of tilted sideways.
This is Kathy's crying, tilted head of choice.
Then you have the thumbs up. I use that one a lot.
Yeah, that's a good way to wrap up a text conversation.
Then there's one that's the crying that looks like there are waterfalls coming out of the eyes. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Now, that one means like really sad.
No.
Or is that crying, laughing?
I would say it's more of like a nostalgia cry, like, oh my God,
Oh,
it's
okay.
so great.
Is that? Do you know that that's exactly what it's meant, or is that just what you use it for?
That's what I use.
Okay.
So
Yeah, the sad one, there's another sad one. It's just a teardrop. Like, I'll use
Right.
that if it's.
That means you're a former prisoner, right?
No, if you're actually sad.
Oh, okay.
All right. Then the next one is the. I see it as the praying emoji.
Some people use it as a high five.
Some people use it as a high
Really?
five.
I always take it as like,
Oh, no.
or like thank you, or like
Yeah.
or
I see it as prayer.
Right.
Prayer,
But
yeah.
some people see it as two hands.
But
doing-
there's a high
like smacking
five.
together. Is there?
Yeah.
Is there?
Yeah,
Like
if you
the
type,
waving
No,
hand.
there's a waving hand, but then there's also a high five hand.
and if you literally type in the word prayer into your text in an iPhone and then hit the emoji button, it'll convert it to this one.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's-
To the hands together, Nick.
yeah. So
Okay.
if I typed in a text to you, Steve, prayer, and then I
Right.
hit the emoji button, this one would come up.
And they call it folded hands.
Correct.
Oh,
right.
wait, but hold on. There's a second one where the palms are facing out, and then there's like little prayer or something over it.
I don't know that
That
one.
might be the high five they're talking about. I don't think they're talking about the hands together one.
Okay. Then you have the blowing a kiss. Essentially, it's the face, the yellow face, the emoji face, whatever, with the pursed lips and then a little heart.
And that's sort of flirty, right?
That's kind of blowing a kiss. Either I love you or something along those lines. And then another one is a smiley face with the 3 hearts around it, and then the smiley face that has the eyes are the hearts.
Yeah.
And then just the standard smiley face.
What's the most aggressive flirting emoji?
There's a devil with a smiley face on it, so it's a purple one, and it's got 2 horns.
That's flirty.
Horny.
Yeah,
Horny.
that's kind of a horny.
Okay.
I want to
Oh.
see you. I
didn't
can't
know
wait to
that.
bang.
Right. I want to touch your junk.
Come on over now.
I want your mother to be there too.
Woo.
If you're into that, I don't know.
The report adds that
I'll be bringing you a pizza.
that the data wasn't very different from 2019, which was the last time the most used emojis data was made public.
Why don't they do it every year?
The report also adds that the top 100 emojis are also way more popular than the other emojis, from a total of 3,663 options to choose from.
You remember there was they released a whole bunch of new emojis. I think they do every year, but I think this was a banner year for emojis released.
By the way, the top 100 that they have make up for 82% of all emoji shared in 2021. The Unicode Consortium has also revealed a list of category-wise data for the most popular emoji in various categories, like smileys and emotion, people and body, activities, flags, and more. The results show that categories like face, smiling, and hands were some of the most frequently used emojis.
Right.
Meanwhile, plants and flowers emoji were also very frequently used and dominated the animals and nature category, despite being a smaller subgroup.
I'd be curious to see, of all those how many thousands of emojis?
3,300 and something.
What is the least used emoji?
The least used emojis, or at least category, are flags.
Flags.
Yep. It says flags continue to be the least used emoji, despite being the largest category. There's 258 flag emojis, but they are the least used.
Bet you the pride flag is probably used
The most?
more than
Or a lot?
any of the other
Yeah,
ones.
the
American
USA
flag?
flag?
American flag. gets-
American flag gets used a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used that one yesterday.
Yeah. So, anyhow, so there you go. That's your emoji list.
Roundup.
Your emoji roundup for 2021.
It's a big thing when they release the new emojis. You remember that they finally? I remember when they released finally the poop pile with the eyes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know.
And the middle finger. I mean, that was one that wasn't there right off the
while.
bat. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So with other lists, and I do like these end of the year.
I do
lists.
too.
I find them kind of
It's
interesting.
the end of the year. You're tired. It makes it easy to come up with content.
Well, there's good news because Americans aren't the drunkest people in the world.
USA.
I guess we could have clapped either way on that. If we would have been the drunkest, we would have been.
I would have clapped.
Cause for celebration, but. The latest global drug survey spoke to 32,000 people in 22 countries and found that Australia is the drunkest country, with people there saying that they drink. Now, listen to this.
All
Okay.
right.
Either I have a really bad alcohol problem or things are off here. So, Australia's the drunkest country, with people there saying they drink alcohol about twice a week on average.
What?
And get drunk 27 times per year.
I think during these surveys, people aren't honest.
I agree.
I think that they underestimate, because even if it's an anonymous survey, they don't want to come across as drunk as they are.
They take it down a bit. It's like, how many STDs have you had?
So
you're probably going to trim that list a bit.
They drink 2 times a week. That's a good week for me. You know what I mean? So
I'm doing great.
Preston, when you go to the doctor and you fill out the form and it asks how many drinks you have a week, are you honest?
Yeah, I'll be, because it varies. I'm like a weekend drinker.
Yeah.
Maybe every now and then, like a Wednesday night, I'll crack a few beers.
All night.
It's almost Friday.
But it is almost
Pretty
Friday.
close to
And then if you do Wednesday, you might as well do Thursday
So
too.
Right.
There are times of the year where that makes sense.
And you'll be paying for it if you don't drink on Friday, because now you're chasing that buzz.
Right. Well, and Sunday's fun too. So
Kathy, when I answer that question, I probably lowball it a little bit.
Well-
I'll say a 12-pack a week.
right. I mean,
I know it's a little bit more than that.
I think I do the same thing because I'm like, I don't have a drinking problem. I don't want them to
Exactly.
think.
No, I'm
that
very
I
good
have
at it.
a
I'm very
drinking
good at it.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not there to judge that. And so when you're doing it for like doctor's purposes,
Medical,
that's where you really should be.
Yeah, but according to
1,000% honest.
Nick saying that this survey is, they're probably not honest. If you're not honest going to the doctor, they're probably not honest.
You can have the doctor go look at you. Go, really? Is that right?
Are you sure?
You don't say.
Bursted veins in your nose.
Yeah, they're not there to judge you, but I'm there to judge myself. And I know exactly what I'm writing down. I'm like, it's not.
But it's also
very
funny
honest.
when people say, "Well, I only have 2 drinks a night."
Right.
Okay. Well,
how big is the cup?
How big is the cup? That's exactly.
Well, I'm not
that's
exactly. I'm using a mixing bowl.
I only have 2 glasses of wine a night. Well,
Right.
okay, that's fine if it's a standard glass. And
I'm using a cake pan.
I'm not judging one way or the other, but how big is your glass?
No, it's true. There now, and it's sort of a thing, and I think maybe it started with Cougar Town or whatever. These inordinately large wine glasses are all the rage.
Oh, and you can get like a wine stem base that you put actually on the whole bottle.
I don't even drink, and that cracks me up.
So anyhow, so they said 27 times per year, more than people in any other country surveyed. Now, the survey defined, here's the different thing. The survey defined drunk as, quote, having drunk so much that your physical and mental faculties are impaired to the point where your balance or speech was affected.
Let me ask.
That's pretty lit, all right?
Let me ask you this. So, Casey, I think my brother told me this, and I want to make sure that I'm correct. What do they reckon? If you're an alcoholic, is it you need 1 drink a day? Is or is it?
There was
a benchmark?
There was a moment in my life where I was like, I just don't think, and listen, I'm sober almost 10 years
Yes,
at this
and my
point.
brother's like 15, 16.
It's a long, right? But there was a time in my life where I was battling with, oh my God, do I have any issues here?
Right.
So I took a survey. I filled out a questionnaire.
Like an online?
No. I sat down with somebody. I sat down and I filled out this questionnaire. And I was like, this questionnaire is BS, right? Because like one of the questions was like, have you ever drank before noon, right? And I was like, is this like ever? Or is this like in the last month, right?
Right, yeah.
And they're like, no, it's just like ever. I was like, okay, so
I went to college.
I went to college. Does this include Eagles games on Sundays? You know what I mean? Like, so there are like, so by the letter of the dude, a lot of people are
alcoholics.
All right,
that's my
not for
point.
me to judge.
Is that it would fall to me? It seems like, and I get that you're trying to assess the problems in a very comprehensive way, but a lot of it seems to fall. It's like when they talk about weight and body type and what you should weigh.
Yeah, right. Or
it's like, oh my God,
yeah.
I'd be emaciated.
And you can't judge yourself compared to like other people.
No.
It's a 1-by-1 sort of issue.
It's at the top is a picture of Kathy, and then and Preston just below.
Yep.
But
somebody texted in and said, I drink a little less than Preston. I went to the ER, and they were referring to me as an alcoholic.
What?
Wow, okay.
Yeah. Listen, socially, it's just, it is what it is. And, and these were things that I was, I guess, more hyper-focused on after I put everything down.
Sure.
And then, I'm going through, a patio furniture guide, and there's alcohol on every single table. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm like,
right.
is this... But it is what it is. I'm more interested to see like what with the with like Uber and Lyft and all that sort of stuff. If these issues are slowly, they're not going away. They're not gone, right?
Yeah.
But are like DUIs down, right?
Right.
Because of
those services.
Because of those services.
I would hope so.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to a buddy of mine whose son is in his younger 20s, and he went out and got all lit up, and I'm like, you need to go get him. He's like, dude, they don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah.
Like, there's Uber, there's all this ride sharing stuff. It's so much easier. I'm like, and then of course we went and lamented about how lousy it was when we were younger.
Well, because listen, especially if you're in the burbs,
my God,
taxis don't exist out there.
My brother got lit up in Downingtown one time, right?
Yeah.
And he caught the last train back to Paoli, except that he didn't catch the last train just to Paoli.
Oh.
It went all the way to Philadelphia, and he passed out on the train.
No.
That was his. But Casey, that was his only mode of transportation to not drive from Downingtown back to paoli. So he did the responsible thing. He just got on the train and passed
Wow,
out.
that development program's really paying off.
Yeah, I'm in 30th Street
Looks
Station
like
now.
the whole city.
So
Paoli's really built it up.
Dude, I
They got high rises now.
I was at a friend's house.
They even put in a river.
I was at a friend's house in Radnor, and I was going to crash there, and I decided at the last minute, I'm like, no, I'm going to go home. I'm going to go out front, and I'm going to hail a taxi cab. And this is like
In Radnor?
The Radnor house, I think, was the name of the apartment complex that he was at. I walked from there and just waiting for one taxi to pass me. One. And I walked from there all the way down past Villanova University, all the way past the Blue Route, all the way up to what's the Radnor Hotel, the shopping. Not one taxi cab, like nothing.
Would you finally decide when you hit Longwood Gardens here?
Well, no, I eventually made it to I was looking for a payphone too.
Yeah.
The diner that I thought was there wasn't there, and the Villanova diner had closed at this point. I was like, nothing, because this is after hours at
And
this
you're
point.
desperate, yeah.
But if I had Uber, all I would have had to do is like, beep, boop, bop, beep, boop, and then they would have came in 10 minutes.
I would wonder statistically, though, it's something to investigate whether that is, whether that has a hand. I'm sure would have to as an option.
So I got a text from a police officer. He says to keep it anonymous, but he says in their area, drunk driving is down by about 25%.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's all because of ride shares.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why
That's
risk
a good
it?
thing.
Be
By the way,
safe.
the U.S. is the fourth drunkest country in the world, according to the findings, coming in behind Denmark and Finland, but just ahead of the U.K.
You always figure that, and it's always been depicted that Russians, well, maybe it's because Russians can hold their booze, right? There's always been the perception of Russian.
Well, it's also like part of the culture is, like the drinking ages are younger.
Right.
And, like generally speaking, kids can't sit down at the dinner table and have a glass of wine here in America. But that I don't know.
France they can.
In France they
Yeah.
can. All
Right.
over Europe they can.
A few other interesting findings. Australia was first in the number of times people reported seeing emergency medical treatment after alcohol use. People from Ireland reported getting drunk at an average of 14.6 times a year, and were also most likely to regret getting drunk. And those from Denmark and Finland were least likely to regret getting drunk.
Where did Ireland fall in the most drunk?
It didn't say.
Okay.
I don't have the full list of it here in front of me, but
Yeah, again, that's another one that gets a
reputation.
I'm Irish.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep,
Interesting.
They get the rep. So, all right. Oh, and one more thing, and I know we got to take a break because we have a guest coming up here in a second, but I wanted to double back to, we were talking about apps earlier, and Kathy just told us about a great white shark.
Yes.
And where is it?
Miss May is kind of off the coast of Long Island.
Okay, so a Twitter user recently raised the alarm by posting a screenshot of a tracker app showing about 100 sharks gathering in the Atlantic Ocean near the East Coast. 100 of them.
Like a convention?
A platform user with the handle Punished Stew tweeted early Wednesday, sharks are amassing on the East Coast with accompanying screenshot of about 100 sharks along the coastline. The tweet went viral. He wrote, I occasionally log in to check that the nearest great white is at least 2,000 miles away. And the graphic came up from a shark tracking website called OSearch, which attempted to calm unnerved social media users. A spokesperson for the tracker said there's no cause for concern. They said, we are currently studying the Northwest Atlantic white shark, the white sharks that live off the eastern United States and Canada. And this is why we have so many recently tagged sharks in the area. We have tagged 83 white sharks in the Northwest Atlantic. So they just tagged a bunch of them.
Oh, okay. So that's why they're
that's why
new
you're seeing all
members,
this.
is what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Welcome to our new members.
Dr. Christopher Lowe, the
Thank you for coming today.
director of the Shark Lab at California State University, said the predatory fish detections weren't terribly uncommon, and that climate change is likely culprit for uptick in sharks along the coast.
That's great. There's so many extra great white sharks, isn't it, Kathy?
Said, this isn't terribly uncommon since most of these sharks were likely tagged at near shore locations.
Yeah. Wow. You just walk out a little bit, put the tag in, and they swim away.
Yeah.
It's like a service. It's almost like a drive-through COVID test.
He said, although this is typically the season when smaller sharks are migrating to warmer southern waters, He had much of this pattern is likely attributed to changing oceanographic conditions right
All
now.
right.
So that's why we have all the.
So you
great
can actually
whites,
walk across the water on great
right?
whitebacks.
On the backs of great whites, should you feel the need to do that.
I think we're going to walk to Ireland today.
Yeah. All right, well, I want to take a break because we have a guest coming up in just a moment, but I also want to reward you for hanging out and listening to the Preston and Steve Show. Let's give away some Christmas miracles.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got 2 of them. We'll take callers 5 and 6 at 215-263 WMMR. The requirements that you be at least 21 years of age and available to join us on Tuesday, December 21st at Parks Casino. It'll be an early morning for you, but a good time had by all, and you never know. You might get chosen to be a part of our contest, and we'll have the very useful Gary Lauer drawing the names.
Our favorite elf.
Yes, and a friend can come with you, but only you will be qualified to be in on the contest. And by the way, it's a Miller Lite Ugly Sweater edition, so anybody can wear the ugly sweaters and possibly win some prizes from Miller Lite. So we'll take those callers 5 and 6, 215-263 WMMR, and we'll be right back.
Taste and texture.
Of all
3 R's.
Of all,
What?
I'm Scottish.
of all the senses employed, smell is the most important, he says.
Absolutely.
Whiskey blenders and quality assessors rely entirely.
Stick your tongue in your nose.
So anyhow, they made an artificial tongue.
You made and look at you.
Yeah.
You're finally living the dream. You made your stupid ass tongue.
You fake tongue freak.
You frig nibbler.
Frig nibbler.
He's just making things up.
I'm
over there.
making them up and they're sticking.
I love it.
I'm rubber, you're glue.
You frig
You
nibbler.
frig nibbler. You chowder huffer. When an angry Scotsman says it, it carries more weight.
You lollygagger.
He's a carp tickler. That's a compliment.
Here's the thing. When I make jokes about people that have disabilities, never the person with the disability gets mad at me.
Well, there you go.
Ever.
There you go.
It's always the person who knows the person with a disability. It's always the person who is like, my son. Like,
do you get extra firepower because you are a person of smaller stature?
Yes, I'm a dwarf, midget, person short stature, and I know it's my voice. You can't tell. I'm not on the radio like, oh, plus and stuff. Woohoo! Like, no, I don't sound like that. But yes, I get a little more leeway because it's really hard to get mad at the dwarf who's making jokes.
Do you ever have someone get pissed off at you and then not realize that you are, and then like you see them like.
Yeah, on the radio. Yeah, on the radio that happens because, like I said, I don't sound like. And then they come like, "How dare? What? How would you like it if you have a disability?" It's like, I can't wear adult clothes. Like I gotta pick up chicks with Bob the Builder on my T-shirt. All right, yeah. Like I did a show a few weeks ago, and there's a guy in the audience, and he was in a wheelchair. And he didn't have any legs, right? And I immediately started making fun of him. Right. And he laughing. You could tell he's laughing because the chair was moving back and forth real fast. And the audience got mad. And like one dude stood up. He's like, "Stop making fun of him. What if he gets mad at you?" And I was like, "I'll run up some stairs. I'm not worried. This guy's not gonna do. He's not a threat." So yeah, like it's always the people that don't have the ailment that I'm talking about that get mad.
Do you ever get hit up for do scripts come your way for yeah.
And
what's the most bizarre you've gotten sent your way?
Oh my god.
Because you know you had when the Hervé Villechaize story was being done, right?
Well, yeah, because that's Dinklage though.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
He produced it.
He's the Dinklage is the top guy. I hate Peter Dinklage. It's strictly jealousy. It has nothing to do with him as a person. He's probably a delightful human being, but he's in everything. If they made a movie and called it the Brad Williams story, it would be starring Peter Dinklage. It's madness.
What's the craziest thing you've been offered? Yeah.
Well, the craziest thing I was ever offered, and I actually did it. So this one dude wrote me and said, "Hey, I'm doing a horror film, and I need you to be like a monster or whatever.
Really?
And I was like, all right, cool. And I had to sit in the chair. They put the mold all around me. You have to sit there for however many minutes. The
claustrophobic, right?
Yeah, so the mold sets. It's really kind of scary. And then you do it, and then he goes, okay, this could be the monster mold. And I did the film. It's like some low budget independent.
Yeah.
It's nothing anyone's seen. What I didn't know is that the guy took the mold and sold it to somebody who turned me into a sex toy.
Are you kidding?
That is
There's a Brad Williams sex doll?
Yes. Well, not anymore because I sued them.
Were you flattered?
Unbelievable.
Were you slightly flattered?
Slightly flattered, but like, dude, it was freaky because someone gave me the website.
Did you get one at least before you sued him? Because you could literally go F yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. My wife could have something to do while I was gone. But yeah, like I looked at this website. It was me. It was
God.
Me. And I just thought to myself, like, how weird is this going to be if someone on the street who bought this sees me walking the other way and just goes, whoa, like, and it just like has this weird reaction. I'm like, why are you acting like that? He's like, I usually put my penis somewhere on you. That's great.
Was it being marketed as Brad Williams? Or?
No,
I'm sure not. Yeah.
No, it was marketed as like a midget sex toy. Like this is how you could bang a dwarf. And
What
I'm
a
just
world!
Like,
Wow.
yeah, and I'm
What
just
a
like,
world.
wow. So yeah, I had to get my legal team involved in that.
Brad, what were they going for? Do you know? I'm just curious.
It was like $125. It was like an expensive sex toy.
Wow.
I once was asked to play in a charity golf tournament, and I thought, absolutely great. I'll go play in the charity golf tournament, and I do. And they had these golf carts that had the names of all the celebrities on the golf carts. So I'm walking, and it's like it's Bill Engvall was in it, and like some guy from Greece, not John Travolta. So who the hell cares? And then I see my golf cart. It says Wee Man on the golf cart. No way. Yeah, it says Wee Man on the golf cart. And at first I was pissed. And then the group I was playing with start walking towards me going, oh, we're so glad we got Wee Man. All our friends got lame celebrities. We got Wee Man. I'm like, oh, God, now I got it.
Yep.
Now I can't be like, you actually did get a lame celebrity. So I faked it. I faked being Wee Man because I thought, these guys are giving a lot of money to charity.
Sure.
Let's make sure they have a good time. So like I faked it. I started saying I was Wee Man. Then we get to this hole that's sponsored by Hooters, because if you play in these charity golf tournaments, there's all the holes that are sponsored by different restaurants, corporations, whatever. So the hole is sponsored by Hooters. It's a bunch of girls. They're the Hooters girls. They have the wings and beer and stuff. And we walk up, and this Hooters waitress sees me and goes, "That's not Wee Man." Wow. And I'm like, wait, what? No, I'm Wee Man. Like, yeah, because now this has gone down to like 12, 14 holes. Like, I can't just suddenly turn around. So I'm like, no, what are you talking about? I'm Wee Man. And she goes, no, that's not Wee Man. I had sex with Wee Man.
Oh, God.
You are not Wee Man. And I'm like, what? So I run up to her.
Oh, my God.
I grab her by the wrist, and I kind of explain to her the situation. And I'm like, hey, I know I'm not Wee Man. These guys are doing it for charity. Think I am. The freaking charity thought I was.
Yeah.
Like, so it's on them. This is not me trying to do this. Just play along. And then I peeled her off like $40, because when you give $40 to a Hooters waitress, they'll do anything. So
did she immediately, was she receptive to it, or did you have to work her?
She immediately flipped around and was like, oh, okay, totally get it. And she's like, never mind, I was wrong, Wee Man. And I thought, kudos to her. Yeah. Because she's, first of all, she blatantly just yelled out in front of a group of strangers, I had sex with a midget. And then a few minutes later says it to the same strangers, I had sex with a midget and forgot which midget it was. So that's kudos to her.
Yeah, that's worth $40.
That's worth $40 just for that moment. But then,
oh my God,
here's the best part.
All right,
it's not done. Here's the best part. I like, so now the problem is solved, and now the guys are like all teeing off, and I go to the back and I kind of go to her and go, hey, so you had sex with Wee Man? And she goes, yeah, I had sex with Wee Man. And she goes, he came in the restaurant, he chatted me up, and it was good. I recognized him, and then we had a little fun. And then she goes, here, I'll show you a picture. And she busts out the picture, and she shows me the picture, and I look at the picture, and I go, That's my dwarf friend Sean.
Oh, yes! That's not Wee Man.
That's not
She
Wee
did
Man.
not have sex with Wee Man. She had
Brilliant.
sex with Sean.
I like Kevin Costner, so I'm sticking to it. You know what he's doing? He does the voice of the dog in The Art of Racing in the Rain, that new movie coming out.
The Art of Racing in the Rain. What's that about?
So it's one of these endless series of stories like a dog's purpose of dogs. I'm a sucker for all of them, but this is another. You're hearing the dog's thoughts, right? And Milo Ventimiglia, and who is the girl from Mean Girls?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I love her to death.
Amanda Seyfried.
Amanda Seyfried.
Yeah.
And so it's my wife's favorite book, but I kept seeing the commercial. I'm like, I know that voice. It's Kevin Costner.
Cool.
I would love to see what they're actually thinking.
Why don't you lick her butt? Go ahead.
Never mind.
No, you'd love to see what? It's about the dog thing?
Yeah.
All right, what?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Just keep-
It's
move
the
on.
story of a dog and his thoughts.
Lick her butt. Go ahead, lick it. You'll love it.
I licked mine. I love that.
Hey, where do you want to go for dinner, buddy? Doesn't matter. I eat frozen turds. So when are you going to lick her ass?
Get off that!
Lick her butt already.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Hey, buddy.
All right.
I love you, man. I know you're getting up there in years. Yeah. Did you lick her butt yet? Because that's really a lot of what dogs think about.
That's what they do. They love it. Yeah.
Hey, I just ate some tampons.
Oh, my God. Dude, we eventually... So
I know.
It's finally stopped in our house. We finally got a trash can with a little closing lid on the top of it.
They're predators.
For the bathroom.
If they're going to rip a rabbit to pieces in your yard,
yeah, exactly.
A tampon's like a buffet.
Oh, my cats can get into those trash cans.
Oh, really?
I have to put the heavy tissue box holder on top of the trash can with the lid.
No kidding. Okay.
Pets are so fun and
Aren't
cute.
Aren't they adorable?
They're eating your tampons.
Yeah, they rip animals apart in the backyard.
Buddy, is your paw hurt? Yeah, it doesn't feel too good. Did you lick her butt yet?
I have a question for you, Steve.
Lay it on me.
Should I get into the Bachelorette stuff here in a little bit, or we can?
We did it as a separate segment.
We can parse it out here if you want. All right, so Jed popped the question.
All right.
We got the clip here.
Now, this is the dummy who is a up and coming musician, and to this point, the only thing he's sold is a dog food jingle.
Hey, that's an accomplishment.
Thank you very much, Kathy. So one of the most beautiful seasonal things that comes up this time of year is the Nutcracker.
It's great.
And the Philadelphia Ballet has the Nutcracker opening Friday at the Friday at the Academy of Music, 7 p.m. Tickets are available at philadelphiaballet.org, by the way. And we have two people online. First, we're going to welcome the artistic director of the Philadelphia Ballet, Mr. Angel Correa.
Yay!
Angel, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming on. And the real star. Not that there's nothing to sneeze about you, sir. But we would like to welcome the lead in the role of the Nutcracker. She's playing Marie. This is Ellie Sidlow.
Yay!
Is it Sidlow or Sidelow? I want to make sure I get that right, Ellie. It's Sidlow. Okay. And so I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Angel, but I mean, you have this 12-year-old young lady. Let's hear from you first, Angel, about the talent of this young lady, please.
Well, Ellie's quite special. Usually we start with the Nutcracker like a month and a half before the shows take off, and we spend a lot of time with the kids because mostly of the first act is only kids. So we spend a lot of time with them, and especially with Marie or Clara for a lot of people that they've seen other productions, because it needs to look very natural. It needs to look very real. She needs to drive you through the whole story and make it very believable. And for someone that young, it's quite a challenge.
Yeah.
But with Ellie, a lot of it comes extremely natural. She's very, she follows suggestions really easily, and she brings a lot of really beautiful things to it that it makes it very special. So when she's rehearsing or when she's on stage, we're quite relaxed because we know that all her choices are going to be the right choices. And she tells the story really, really, really beautifully and really well.
Ellie, a little bit about your story. How old are you and where are you from?
Well, first of all, Gadzooks.
Oh my god.
Well, so I'm 11 actually.
Oh.
And I'm from Philly, and I love the Nutcracker. It's such a magical time of year. I love it brings such a holiday spirit to everyone, and it's just sometimes what you're looking forward to.
And
what I'm
you have a history with this though, Ellie. You've been performing in this production since you were much younger, correct?
since I was around 6 or 7. So I've been doing this for a long time. But I love it so much.
Yeah.
I would venture a guess that the Nutcracker is probably the entree for a lot of people into ballet. And was that the case? You're nodding your head, Ellie. Was obviously that's the case for you as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because to me, because it is associated. You encountered around the holidays, but I think in a way too, some people get dismissive of it, of how really. Not dismissive, but it's just kind of part of the scenery and it's part of the holidays. But it is a beautiful story. It's a magical story. So for people who are unfamiliar on how, give a short thumbnail of why the Nutcracker is so wonderful and what the basic story is.
Well, I think it's a wonderful story about love and about dreams and about this little girl that that her dream is to have a wonderful holidays with their parents, and then she gets involved into this incredible magical story where the Nutcracker that it was given by her uncle, that is a little bit creepy, and gives her this Nutcracker that comes to life, and we can't really tell if it's a dream or if it's reality, and it turns into a prince, and he takes her into the magic land of candies. And she gets to know all these different countries and all these different people, these magical people. And then she wakes up and then she comes back home in theory. But it's a very beautiful story about dreaming and about making your dreams a reality. And I think that it's also great to see how all these kids like Ellie, they go from year to year, playing different roles until they play the Sugar Plum Fairy, and then they become a professional dancer. So I think it's wonderful to see not only what it does to kids that are part of the Nutcracker, but also what it does to kids all over the world, and especially in our city in Philadelphia.
You mentioned. You mentioned something that is something I've always liked about it, is that there is a little bit of a dark element to it. It's a little there's a little uneasiness that makes it kind of cool. And so you're saying, and Ellie, obviously this is going to be your career. Besides the Nutcracker, what is on your list of things you'd love to dance or productions you'd love to dance in that you have yet to get to?
Well, for me, I've seen Swan Lake, which is beautiful dance, beautiful ballet. And there's Giselle, there's a bunch of different ballets like that, and some that we haven't done before that, whichever, any ballets that I see, even just rehearsing in the studios, they're all so beautiful, and I'm I want to do that.
Yeah, that's cool. It seems like you're on your way.
Yeah, she definitely is.
Well, you know what, and Angel, part about of your background, you've danced for a long time. In fact, I was reading you're one of the finest dancers of your generation. That's what it says here. I'm sure you're more humble, and we'll go throwing that around. But
no, I am.
the amount of work that is put in. I watch now. Listen, I've just a pedestrian view of ballet. It's another world to me. But when I do see some of it, I'm amazed at the physical ability. Could be the most finely tuned athletes. I mean, your performers, but your athletes as well on the planet. And so you have Ellie, who's a young lady who's been doing this for a long time. Dedicating your life to something like that has got to be an incredible commitment. They've made movies about it, of course, but about being that committed to this craft has got to it's got to be all that you put you put all of your effort into. Yeah, you spend all day training your body to be able to do something that any sport, any Olympics, they use any part of their bodies with
classical ballet or with ballet, you're using every single muscle and cell of your whole body. So you have to really train. I have people that they ask me, they used to ask me when I was a dancer, you're a ballet dancer. What else do you do other than dancing? And I used to say, no, that's plenty that I have to do. But, dancing it's part of ourselves. That's part of who we are. The way that we use our hands, the way we use our bodies. When you play music at home, your body wants to move to the music. So classical ballet is part of us. It is part of who we are. And I think that that's something that it needs to be said to people that they feel like, ballet is just for the elite and it's not. Dance is really part of who we are. And I think that being able to do that as your career is something quite special.
Yeah,
sure.
So, Ellie, this is Nick, and I know your mom and dad are both really, really proud of you, but I also know you have an older sister named Emily, and I'm curious as to whether or not you hold this over her because you are the lead in the ballet and she's not.
Well, so she did do ballet for a little bit. But I mean, she's such a supportive sister. I think she's really happy for me, and so she'll go and watch my shows. I don't think it holds her of anything. I think she's just happy for me that I'm doing something that I love.
You know what, Ellie? At some point, hire her to do something for you later on. That would be a nice way to return it. No. That's cool that you guys are supportive of each other. So, and again, this for people who don't. The Nutcracker to me has always been one that I have to see at least one production of it around the holidays. Yeah. So obviously, this is the one to see.
How long does the production run, guys? Time length wise?
It's about an hour and 15 minutes.
Oh, that's easy.
There's only one intermission, so it's easy. The first act runs for about 45 minutes.
Okay, because I think for those who might be hesitant to go to something like this, it's like, man, I'm not going to sit and listen to classical music for 2.5, 3 hours. I'm going to fall asleep. Hour and 15 minutes with an intermission.
You're fine.
That's easy, and you'll be amazed at the talent. And of course, Tchaikovsky was a genius.
Yes.
The music is just iconic. It's wonderful. So
you'll hear pieces. You'll hear passages throughout it that you go, oh, yes.
Yeah, you'll recognize it.
And the scenes, they change really quickly. You go from the scene where the family is having a party. Then it goes into the battle scene where, you see these huge mice that they come to life and these little toys that they become real. Then you go into the snow scene, which, these beautiful girls, they come in with these beautiful costumes. They look like snowflakes. And then you have the land of candy in the second act. So there's a lot happening with the beautiful orchestra, the beautiful costumes. Great dancing, so there's nothing to be bored about.
Hey, Ellie, is this any different than if you might have friends who might play sports or do some other activities, or is this so involved that you need like a tutor and things along those lines? Can you balance school and being in the Nutcracker at the same time? Is it hard?
Oh, well, sometimes it can be. Sometimes I might have to miss school one day or something. But overall, my school makes it pretty easy, and especially ballet does too. They're really easy with scheduling, and I take classes on weekdays. But yeah, it's with juggling everything. I think it's been pretty good. I mean, sometimes it can be a little hectic, but
right. Hey, Angel, I wanted to ask, in the world of ballet, we hear the term prima ballerina, and I know that that's a rank. I really don't know what that is. Can you explain that to me?
Sorry, again, the question.
So I've heard the term prima ballerina before.
I think Ellie knows what that is.
Yeah, she knows that. Ellie, you answer the question. Go ahead.
Yeah, she would answer it better than I do. Well, the term prima ballerina is not used anymore. I think it's more principal dancer. Usually you have the different levels or ranks in a ballet company. It starts with an apprentice, which is the youngest. When you finish your school training, then you become an apprentice. So it's sort of like a learning process. Then you get into the corps de ballet, which is the big group of dancers, which I always say that's the most important part of the show because it's the real soul of the company. That's where you see the snow or the flowers, the land of flowers in the Nutcracker in Swan Lake, all the swans in the lake scene. then he goes into a soloist, which is usually like the secondary role, and then you go into principal dancers. In our company, we have 2 ranks in between because we have such an incredible amount of talent in the company that we had to add a couple of ranks in between. But that's usually how it goes. And
Okay.
what it's called prima ballerina is the principal dancer.
I was curious because sometimes there'll be like a national principal dancer that's named, and is that I don't understand that. Is that who appoints all that?
I think it has to do with followers and people that it's like the opera singers. There's
So it's not. It's not a rigid structure. It's more informal, but it still carries weight.
I was just wondering if Ellie might hit that mark someday.
I'm sure she will. She's very determined and she's really smart, as you can hear. I think that she's on the path to get there. I think if she continues with the passion that she has and working as hard as she's working,
that's awesome.
Definitely, without a doubt.
That's great. Yeah, very cool. I mean, congratulations too on achieving this and being a part of this.
Yep.
Yeah. I just whenever I get like roles in this, like I just get stunned. I get so excited. Even like my first year, I was like ecstatic. I was like in my parents' bedroom, like waiting. I was like, "Is it out yet?" Every night I would check if I would get it or not, and it was just like so fun to like. It was the adrenaline of like, am I gonna get something? But I mean, of course, I did.
You did.
It was just awesome. It was amazing.
Well, nice. Well, listen, tickets are available at philadelphiaballet.org and select dates through the 31st. Opening night tickets are just $10, by the way. Other performances $25. So it's very affordable.
Yes.
It's a cool family event. It
is great.
Hour and 15 minutes long. This would be a great holiday tradition to start and go see this every year if you could. So, wow. Well, Ellie, congratulations. That's huge. Tremendous success, and you will continue to excel, I'm sure. And Angel, wonderful to speak to you. We hope you guys have wonderful performances, so thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You got it. All right, let's hear it for Ellie. Angel Correa and the Nutcracker opens on Friday at the Academy of Music, and it's a 7 p.m. show, which is cool.
Is there any other ballet that you've ever seen? I mean, the Nutcracker I've seen a number of times.
This is probably the only one I've ever seen.
Right.
And, I know, like she had mentioned, Swan Lake, and I don't know much about ballet. I've always wanted to go to that Asian dance company.
Oh, my God. We were just talking about that.
That they show the commercials,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm gonna go? Oh, my God, look at what those people can do. And I never go.
We were just about, actually, prior to the big COVID, when the COVID hit, prior to that, they were coming back, and I missed the opportunity then. I think they're advertising them again, but I want to go see that. If you want to see a really great movie that has ballet in it, a movie called The Red Shoes, directed by Michael Powell. It's sort of a visionary movie from years ago, and it's based on a really tragic story. But it's a fantasy, and it's also. But the way they depict the world of ballet and everything is kind of riveting.
I know the Red Shoe Diaries.
Different.
They're different? Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Kathy, did you take ballet?
I did not do ballet.
Not
no.
once? Never? When you were little?
Maybe when I was very little. Yeah, there's actually a picture of me, but I mean, as far as remembering, later on in life, not. And
okay.
I liked tap, but then I stuck with jazz, and then obviously as an adult, I did salsa.
When they stand on their toes like that can't be good for your feet, man.
No, I don't think it is.
I don't know how
you gotta do toe ups, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know.
Did you ever feel those shoes though? Like
No.
that's like a solid. I think it's wood.
Is it
on the tip
like
there?
clogs?
The flat tip.
Yeah, just that whole front.
Steel toe.
That whole front
Steel toe
piece
ballet
of the
slippers?
toe of the ballet slipper.
Yeah, construction ballet slippers, Preston, have a
believe
steel
it.
toe.
I used to do the Michael Jackson thing where he would go up on
Yeah.
his toes. If I did that now, it would snap my ankles.
I know.
If I tried to do it. I'm wearing shoes. I could get away with it in today.
It'd be tough to have to explain why you're in a wheelchair. Well, I was doing a Michael Jackson thing. I went up on my toes and said he, and then I passed out.
Yeah. Shimon, give me a break.
Shimon.
I mean, Shimon.
Shimon.
Shimon, everybody.
But it's impressive that
I don't think I want to see it.
the way that they can literally take their leg and put it straight up next to their ear.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
straight up in the air.
It's a cool way to hold your phone.
While standing. That's just, it's insane. I don't know how you can
Hello.
do it.
Are you on your leg? Yeah.
It's one of those institutions we have in the city, though, the Pennsylvania Ballet or Philadelphia. It used to be called the Pennsylvania Ballet. Now it's the Philadelphia Ballet. But like that, the Academy of Music, the Kimmel Center, these places are incredible. They're world class. Philadelphia Orchestra is another one. We're really lucky to have them in town.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen. One of the things we wanted to do. Can we get a health update on Kathy Romano?
Yes.
We're going to do that.
Are you able to do that?
The ballet
Yeah,
dancer?
sure. Nope, I wasn't a ballet dancer.
No. So for the longest time, Kathy has been dealing with this very elusive issue.
It's called urticaria.
It's called what?
Urticaria.
Urticaria?
Your
urticaria.
Urticaria.
Okay. And essentially, you've been breaking out in hives for how long now?
It's been 10 months.
10 months of misery.
Like nasty hives.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
disgusting.
I mean,
like virtual
I'm not that gross.
scales.
Like I could actually hear the oozing. No, it wasn't like it wasn't on your.
No, it was on my face.
I didn't
right?
see it. Well, you were covering it nicely if it was.
No, my eyes would swell up.
Okay.
Both eyes would swell up. And so there was listen, I went to every doctor. At one point I had to call my insurance company because I was seeing so many doctors. Like they were
Right.
like, what's going on?
Yeah, what's this scam?
Yeah. I went up to Mass General in
Yeah.
Boston. I went to a doctor there. Like I went all over the place. And a lot of the doctors were telling me that 80% of the people who suffer from this never figure out what it is and what's causing it. But I was like determined. I'm like, there
Right.
has to be a cause to this. You can't just say, well, you're gonna have to live like that and be on medication your entire life. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing this. I have to figure it out. So I did so many tests. Dr. Mike, every doctor I went to, they went, wow, who is this doctor? Because he did every blood test under the sun.
Right.
So he checked. And so I went to this was like a last ditch effort. It was a test that was not comfortable in any way. It wasn't too bad, but it was just like uncomfortable
Wasn't
for
painful,
me.
but it was
wasn't painful,
uncomfortable,
right?
yeah.
It was called a patch test, and they put 90 patches on my back, and I had to keep them there for 3 days. And then I couldn't shower Monday through Friday because I couldn't get my back wet. So my hair couldn't get wet, and I couldn't get my back
But
wet.
you weren't stinking, so it's fine.
No, I was able to sit in a bath and kind of give myself a sponge bath.
Right.
And I was freaking out about my hair. I was like, how am I not going to wash my hair? And then I was like, wait, I can go to the hair salon and they can wash it. So
that's smart. But
right?
you couldn't get the hair on your back wet either.
Shut up.
Are we looking at a picture of your back?
This isn't my back, but this is exactly what I have.
Oh my God! It looks like the periodic table of elements on your back.
It was a chart. That's basically what it was. It was a chart. There were 90 small patches, and then when they pulled them off, so I went Monday, had them put on. I went back on Wednesday, and they take them off. And when they take them off, they have to draw them. They have to draw the exact squares so they can keep track of what I might be allergic to.
And do they put little circles and X's in each box?
Well, so they marked each one. They lined the chart on my back, and then I had to go back on Friday, and the doctor read my back essentially.
So what you're doing is you're seeing which areas get, and I'm sure they're clustered by category, right?
Yes, they are.
And so what did you determine, or was anything determined?
Yes, we did. And listen, it's not 100%, but the doctor and myself were pretty sure that we figured out what it is. So when they put the patches on, also, Steve, there's sometimes they'll do coinciding, things that might be connected. And they'll put one on the left side of your back, one on the right side of your back. And if both of them pop up, it's like, okay.
In that family.
Right. Okay. So there were 5 things that popped up on my back. She said some of them are not really relevant. So one of them that popped up for me was an anti-itch lotion. So basically she said, just know you can't use anti-itch lotions.
Okay.
I'm allergic to Neosporin and something else in the
Neosporin?
Yeah.
Oh. For little cuts and things like that?
Yeah, so
wow.
Antibiotic ointments, she said I need to be careful with. So Neosporin specifically, and there was another one, I forget the name of it, but it was in that category.
Okay.
I have a mild, she's hoping it'll go away and I'll be okay, to gold.
Yeah,
To
the
gold?
mild allergy to gold?
To gold.
Wow.
Okay, I have heard of that
Yeah.
before. Interesting.
And you wear a good share of jewelry.
I mean, all
you
gold.
you have a jewelry line.
I
yeah,
bet it's gold jewelry.
Yeah.
But the one that was the most significant, and she said to me, the doctor said to me, I think this is probably not going to be relevant, but it's something called budesonide. And I looked at her, I go, I use budesonide almost every day.
Yeah.
So it's something that Dr. Mike prescribed to me years ago. I've been using it for years. I put it in my nasal rinse. It helps with clearing my nasal passages. It helps avoid sinus infections, helps with my voice, all of that. And I've used it for years and I like it. I mean, I have not had a sinus infection since I started using this. And I suffered from sinus infections since I was a kid. But I guess somewhere along the line, I developed an allergy to budesonide. And I think that's why it was so hard.
Did she freak out when she heard that you were using it that consistently?
She goes, my job never ceases to amaze me. She's like, you're using it all the time? I go, yes, I use it on a regular basis. Not every single day.
Right, yeah.
But every week.
Right.
Sure. And I couldn't, that was what was so difficult about these hives was I couldn't figure out, like there was nothing, I wasn't eating, peanut butter.
Right.
And then the next day my eyes would swell or, whatever it was. I wasn't putting like
something more long term.
Yeah, like a lotion on. And
Right.
then all of a sudden, so I couldn't figure it out, but there was something where it was coming in waves.
Yeah.
And usually when I do my nasal rinse, I'll make up like 4 containers of them and then I'll go, 4 days straight and
Right.
then maybe take a little break. I'll make 4 more, take a little break.
And
And
there's
so
your wave.
there was the damn wave.
Yeah.
Now, she said, listen,
Not conclusive,
not conclusive,
but looking promising.
But she was like, this definitely.
Did she just step back and go, dude?
Pretty much.
Dude.
Allergies are so freaking
Yeah.
weird, man. Like I developed an allergy to penicillin when I was like 25.
Right?
I'm like, now
No,
really?
come
I've
on,
gone
man.
this long.
Come on.
And then I found out like 2 years later, it was gone. It was gone.
What's with penicillin?
Yeah, it's really weird. And they can pop up out of nowhere and go away without any warning.
Well, this is promising.
Yeah.
Right?
This is very promising.
So what does she have you doing?
She was very happy to get these results. I was extremely happy because I thought this is something at least
Right.
that I can work with.
A lot
and
of
we
people
can-
don't ever get anything that's tangible.
Yeah, she said 80% of the people usually never figure out what it is. And she was like, even like with the gold allergy,
Yeah.
she said, I don't think that's causing hives from head to toe. You know,
Right.
that's just a mild allergy. You might want to watch out for it. But I'm putting this budesonide into my body. She said you're having a systemic reaction to
Oh,
it.
my God. What if you ever develop an allergy to activities?
No.
Well, Steve, I didn't drink for like 2 straight months because, maybe it could
Sure.
have been wine or some sort. Thank God it's
Yes,
not wine.
not
I'm
wine.
drinking again.
And it's crazy too. I remember seeing a story about a woman who had this problem. She was having cramps, like menstrual type cramps, but it wasn't that. It wasn't standard. An issue like that, and she went years and years and years and years and could never find out what happened. Finally, I would see the video of her. She was finally positively diagnosed. Breaks down in tears, just happy at the fact they figured out what it was. You know what I mean? I've been looking for so long.
Yeah.
That's what so many people long for.
Yes, that they had this weird little problem, and just you would think that a blood test would figure out what it is, and you have to dig deeper and deeper, and it's just sometimes medicine you got to keep going and going and going until you eventually find what it is.
Process of elimination.
Yeah, I mean, and they did like a biopsy, like they took a chunk of my skin out, my back, which wasn't fun. They did all kinds
You
of
did those
tests.
elimination diets.
Elimination diet. I did everything. Worked with a nutritionist. I really wanted to figure this out. But one of the doctors said to me, typically these patch tests, like you might find, some mild irritation or a sensitivity or something, but don't go into this thinking this is going to be the answer. And I really didn't. I went into it thinking this is my last option. This is the only test I haven't done yet, so I need to go do it. But I mean, fortunately, something came out of it, and I really think that this might be it.
Hey, the gold thing is interesting. Are you? Did they determine whether or not you're allergic to other metals as well, like silver or nickel or anything like that?
not nickel, not silver. It was just the gold.
Just
that
the most
popped up.
expensive.
Yes, of course.
Just
yeah,
the stuff
one
that
you
I
wear.
wear.
Yeah.
What about argentium?
I don't know about Argentium.
That's
I don't
not
know.
real.
That didn't come up. But she said, because I stopped wearing makeup for a long time, I stopped using certain, lotions and stuff like that. And she said, it's none of that. She goes, good news. You can just wear makeup like you normally do now.
When will they? So I assume you've suspended use of the.
Yeah, immediately.
And when will they figure that they have a beat on whether or not that was it?
So she wants to give it 4 months. She said usually 3 months. She said let's give it a little bit longer. So I have to go back in 4 months, and we'll see. I guess where I am at that point.
All right,
nice. Well, we're happy.
Yay!
We're happy you're
That's
allergic
great.
to budesonide.
We're just happy you can start
Yeah.
wearing makeup again.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
and you've been stinking and looking horrible.
I mean, I'm really pretty without makeup too, but it just
It just got a little extra to it. All right, well, with that, let's take a break. Come back in a second. We'll roll out some bizarre file stories. I have a really good one to lead with, so stay put. We'll be back in a moment.
It's not even a good dog food jingle.
I would love to see throughout the series when he's talking to the camera and saying, I'm really just looking to find someone that I can fall in love with and all this. And at the end of this going, well, I really did this for my career because I figured it would boost my visibility a little bit.
Right.
That's really what I was doing.
But
so.
if you're trying to paint yourself as sort of an emotional, in-touch singer-songwriter, and this is the way you treat this girl, it's not going to really work for you.
Oh, we have his jingle. Marissa just sent over his dog food jingle.
Here we go.
All right, here we go.
Rain or shine, kind of love like nothing you've seen before.
No. This is for dog food?
It's for dog food.
Okay.
And the dog is waiting.
The dog's what?
The dog's waiting for the master to come home.
Okay.
And it's a high-quality dog food.
Okay. Is the dog wearing something sexy?
Sexy,
or-
lingerie, yeah. And has a dildo in one paw.
Okay.
The dog really does deserve the best. So go pick him up some better balls.
And the thing, it's metaphor. Okay, so here's the deal. And his reason for doing the commercial is real because this is the food that he's been eating at home himself because the career's not going well. Man, I love this stuff. You put it on some bread, it's delicious.
And then the last birthday today, our favorite butthole, Hope Solo.
Hope Solo's butthole.
Hope Solo, the goaltender for the women's U.S. Soccer team. And then we found out there was a Twitter account called Hope Solo's Butthole because she had posted naked pictures of herself, and apparently you could see that particular part of her body, and somebody took upon that name, and we just thought it was funny.
Our favorite Twitter account. That and Bill Weston's hair.
Do you remember she had, there was some controversy of her being abusive, I think it was?
Yes, to an ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
A family member, too, right?
Yeah, something along
She
those
beat
lines.
the hell out of like a niece or nephew or something.
I've forgotten, but
she was arrested in 2014, charged with 2 misdemeanor counts of assault and in the 4th degree.
Wow. Lest I remind you that her butthole has never been arrested.
Not once.
Yeah.
How old is she?
I'm just saying.
I'm sorry, ma'am. We're going to have to arrest your butthole.
Why?
How do you cuff them?
Wait a second. I'm just collateral damage. I didn't do anything.
We're taking this butthole downtown.
Why does anybody talk to me about it?
This is not right. Get my lawyer. What, do you just expect me to pucker up and go along?
Right,
sorry,
Gabby.
Mr. Butthole.
Oh, yeah.
Mister.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Hope Solo and her butthole.
You guys are just being wacky.
They both turned 38 today.
They're both 38. He's one of the co-creators of the band Mr. Big. He is one of the biggest, most badass guitarists in the world, in my humble opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the program, Mr. Paul Gilbert. I want to explain to some people who may not know the name Paul Gilbert. You have a lot of fans. Most guitarists would know who you are.
Everybody who knows me knows me.
Yeah, exactly, right?
100% of those
But I've only had one. I was only famous for 2 weeks in 1992. So that's
So, Paul, when I do meet people and we're talking music and I'll say, well, one of my favorite guitarists knows this guy, Paul Gilbert. If they're a guitarist, they'll know exactly who I'm talking about. Some people don't, and I have to explain. Okay, so, he was in this band, Mr. Big. Before that, there was this band called Racer X. You may or may not know. Metal, real intense, shredding, crazy, really technical, awesome music. But then I try to explain your solo career as well.
Good luck.
It's hard to quantify it, because there's elements of blues and jazz and metal and all this stuff. What's a good way to describe your music?
Well, it's still evolving, and the discovery I made was that I really always wanted to be not a guitar player, but a lead singer. Because when I was a kid, those were the records I had. My parents had the Beatles records and Stones and bands that had lead vocalists. And I liked Led Zeppelin because Robert Plant had a great voice. Now, I didn't have a particularly great voice, and that didn't stop me from trying.
Right.
But it also didn't stop me from kind of, not doing as well as I would have liked to as a lead singer. So the discovery that I made on this new album, Behold Electric Guitar, is that I can actually play the vocal line on the guitar. So, take a really challenging vocal like, the "Hey, Mama said the way you move," which, with my little falsetto is not so great.
Right.
But, you play it on guitar. And suddenly, those notes are there. And it's just, it's my responsibility to get them right, but at least I can hit them.
Well, I was mentioning to you the song Let That Battery Die, which is on the new album, and that is exactly what I thought. I'm like, it sounds like someone singing.
Yeah, well, that's how I wrote the tunes, was that I would have a lyric, and, the initial lyrics for that were like, what was it? My battery is low, but my mind is high. And, again, I'm squeaking it out.
Yeah.
But with the guitar, I can get a lot of control and a nice tone. And so for the first time in my life, I'm actually able to connect my inner melodic generator with an instrument that functions.
Can you give us a little of the Rocky you were playing before, the Rocky theme?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. The YouTube thing you mentioned is amazing. I grew up with albums, so I never expected to communicate with the world that way. And I do have to mention one, if you're in YouTube, there's one where I was doing a clinic and I had this little loop pedal, and I decided to put like the most scary, frightening shred lick that I could ever do inside the loop pedal. So I just pressed the button and it goes. Yeah. And I would pretend to play with my teeth, and then I would press that button, and the whole audience was like, "Oh my God!" and so of course
he's playing with his teeth.
Yeah, he was playing sweep picking with his teeth. How did he do that? And it was a guitar clinic, so everybody raised their hands and goes like, "How did you do that with your teeth?" And I said, "Well, it's pretty impressive to do sweep picking with your teeth, but I said it's really impressive to do it with your ass."
Oh, yes.
And then I just wiped the guitar,
That's great.
on my backside.
Yeah.
And I'm still a fan of the Beatles and Led Zeppelin and Aerosmith and the regular rock bands. And so now I can step on stage and really be the lead singer via my guitar.
Hey, I had a story that keys off of teachers, and I thought this was kind of interesting. This is out of, where is this? Somewhere in the South. I think it's in the...
is it Florida?
No, it's North Carolina. The teacher at Northeast Carolina Preparatory School in Tarboro, North Carolina, had apparently punished one of their students. By punish, I mean making them write a phrase over and over and over and over again.
A la Bart Simpson.
Because he called her ma'am.
Ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, and she didn't like it, and so he had to write the word "ma'am" numerous times. His teacher asked him to write it. He told his mother that he had to return this with the parent's signature after he repeatedly called her the word, despite being told not to do so.
Okay, well, if she told him not to, then...
Yeah, he completed his assignment during class hours, which made his mom worry that maybe it had interfered with some of schoolwork.
Yes.
According to the mom, Mrs. Wilson, the teacher also told the young boy that if she had something she would have thrown it at him. I'm sorry, said to the boy. So if she would have had something, she would have thrown it at him. After the mom signed the paper, she had also had the boy write down the definition of ma'am, which is a term of respectful or polite address used for a woman, according to Oxford dictionaries. There's some people that hate being called ma'am, and
I hate it.
My wife uses ma'am as a sign of respect when she's on the phone with someone asking for help.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Thank you, ma'am.
It is, and especially as you start to go south, you're going to find it is a term. It is a respectful way to refer to people.
Yeah.
I would it's a weird thing, and I know, Preston, you're right. Ma'am to set someone off.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've always known it as a respectful way to refer to someone.
Maybe she's younger and she doesn't want to feel old.
Yeah,
or something like
that's
that.
how I see it. I see it as an older woman. So when somebody, I remember the first time somebody, he was a kid, probably a high school kid, called me ma'am, and I was like, oh my God. I mean, I didn't tell him, don't call me that, but it made me feel old.
It's not.
Did he just say ma'am?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I never.
Was it the word that set the teacher off, or was it the fact that the kid was repeating it over and over?
I don't know.
Well, it had to be the initial thing graded on her because she asked him to stop saying it.
Yeah.
But if he's used to saying it as a sign of respect to, you know, like somebody in an authoritative manner, like then you just got to get that flag out of your butt and get over it, right, Press?
I would think so. Yeah, get the flag out of your butt.
Yeah.
Did I say that one day?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was walking, I was hiking around the area, you know, maybe on Friday, said hello to this young feller, probably 13 or 14. How are you? How's it going? Very well, sir. I'm like, yeah.
It's a title. It's a title.
We're not this kid walking along. You know, that you, come with me. I want to show other people what you just did because it was so good.
It's a title you've earned.
I earned it.
Hey, here's a text that says, women should know better than to call other women ma'am. I joke that they're traitors. And then she writes, it's well known that most women don't like it. What do you mean? How do you know that?
Because that extensive survey she took.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe amongst a handful of your friends or something. But what do you mean most women?
Yeah, but I would agree with that.
But how do you know most women?
Because anybody, I mean, just anyone that I know, it's not like I took a survey, but anyone I know would agree.
Then it's got to be everyone.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's the thing, too. I think it's, no, but I do, like you said, it's regional. Do you know what I mean? It's
I can see that.
In the South, yes, they do that. They're here, not as much.
But I've born and bred at, you know, Northeast, and ma'am to me was always a sign of respect. And I would say ma'am.
Or maybe is it an older thing? Like it, you
I don't know.
Like I don't know. I just.
You keep going back to old.
No, the standard
people.
thing would be pretty good, ma'am. Wouldst thou takest me?
But here's the deal. I think it's all about intent. And if you hear someone saying it clearly as a sign of respect, you should understand that they're just being polite.
Yes, of course. I'm not going to get mad at them, but it doesn't make me like it. It's still,
right.
I still think it's.
I don't like it.
Yeah, no, I don't.
One gosh darn bit. Looking at my activities list.
Oh, God.
No, I listen, and if it rings to your ear and you don't like it, you can simply say, "Oh, it's okay. You don't have to call me ma'am, or I'll punch you in the throat."
Yeah.
I would never read it as an insulting thing. That's a way to respect.
It's your own fault for being old. Jesus Christ.
No,
What's with you and that aging thing?
It's not insulting. It's just. We just don't like it.
And that's fine. But all right, it's your personal
I don't
preference.
think somebody saying it to me is insulting me.
All right, but what
But
do
I
you
just
want
don't
your
like
server?
it.
What do you want your waiter or waitress to call you when they go up
Sugar
to your
teas.
Yeah.
Young lady, maybe?
Lady.
Oh my God, she has to see my ID.
Now we're living in a fantasy.
Now you're getting into pandering territory.
I haven't been underage for 38 years.
Wait, let me tell you something that happened on Saturday. I have to tell you this. So I went out for Preston. I went out for my birthday, and we went into the bar, and they were carding everyone as we were walking in. And me, I was with Elisa. You know, we're both 40, and she goes, "Oh, let's see if we get carded." So we walk up to him, and we stand there, and he goes, "Hi," and so we were like, "Do you want to see our ID?" He goes, "Sure, if you want to hand it to me."
See, he did. I want to see what you think of this, Kathy. Kim Kardashian, Chrissy Teigen, Queer Eye's Tan France, and trans model Andreja Pajic are sporting some eye-catching new accessories. It's all in the name of Simon Huck's conceptual art experience called A Human, and it's already roiling social media. So Kim has a glowing necklace, and it looks like it's implanted in her skin.
But Preston, okay, and I wanted to ask you about this. It's clearly not an implant.
Right.
It is a flesh-colored thing made to look like an implant.
And it lights up, Kathy.
That freaks me out.
But you've got to
it gets worse.
Marissa, see if you can find, she's on social media, and there's a comment. She says, it
lights
going
up
to
like
my
my
heartbeat.
heart.
And just her, and she looks like an android, dude.
To begin with.
I know,
Like
it's
this,
so
Preston.
it's such a shame.
She's got the lips like...
Yes. Yeah, full on constructed duck lips, so she doesn't have to make the
She doesn't
pout
have to do duck
anymore. It
lips.
does it automatically.
Close to the beat of my heart.
Yeah, exactly. It's like this. And I'm like, who finds that? It's dysmorphia. We're looking at video. Look at this, Kathy. It lights up, and it looks like it's under your skin.
Yeah, that's kind of...
It's kind of wild.
Well, there's a couple of different ones, Preston. So Chrissy Teigen had one. There was a disgusting one that I think it might have been the trans model had, where it looks like almost like mushrooms growing out of their neck.
Oh,
yeah.
This is just somebody who has a lot of money, so is going to pay them to do this. This isn't going to be a fashion trend.
But you can't. You can't
be too expensive.
And
Yeah,
exactly,
no, it's not.
How would you pay to get this put on? It's got to be a fairly
And if
elaborate
it is,
process.
it's going to be so quick.
Well, now I'm just kind of thinking out loud here, guys.
Here's our fashionista.
Well, I mean, for the people who don't have that kind of money to spend on a glow necklace, okay, and that's all that is just a stupid glow necklace. What if it was like some sort of like...
And bringing another one into the world. So that's great. So
it is nice.
Congratulations to Mindy and Todd. That's wonderful news. And
Beautiful song, too.
Pretty little picture.
Oh,
the cute baby.
Adorable.
Yeah, cute baby. All right, it is time for the Bizarre File. Here we go.
Now, WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you this morning by Primo Hoagies. You can get a Primo deal on Primo gift cards and buy a $25 gift card and get a $5 bonus, or buy a $100 gift card and get a $25 bonus. It's not just a hoagie, it is a Primo. Okay, here you go. This is a great story. An Italian man who wanted a coronavirus vaccine certificate without actually getting the shot tried to play the system by presenting healthcare workers, I kid you not, with a fake arm.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
A fake arm?
Yes.
Here.
How'd he pull that off?
Put it
Casey,
here.
it would be like using our... We have a
mannequin
arm here in the studio that will every now and then... One of us will pull our arm into the sleeve and stick the... it's like that.
It wasn't hard like a mannequin, though, right?
Not that I know of. Well, despite...
What was it, a kielbasa?
Despite the realistic skin color, nobody was fooled by the silicone limb, so it was made of silicone.
Okay.
The man, who's in his 50s, was reported to the local police following the incident in northwest Italy. The regional government, the head of the regional government, Albert Cirio, said the case borders on the ridiculous if it were not for the fact that we are talking about a gesture of enormous gravity.
So what is it with your arm?
He said such an act was unacceptable, faced with the sacrifice that our entire community has paid during the pandemic in terms of human lives, the social and economic cost. The fake arm incident comes ahead of a tightening of the rules Monday in Italy for people who have not yet been vaccinated against COVID-19. Since August, a green pass showing proof of vaccination, recent recovery from coronavirus, or a negative test has been required for indoor dining in restaurants, to visit museums, cinemas, theaters, and attend sporting events. And this guy wanted it so bad, they got a fake arm.
I would love to see, like, if one arm was extra hairy, the other one was, like,
completely clean.
Clean.
And shiny.
Right.
Yeah.
And rubbery.
I do need to see this arm.
Goodbye.
A boy snatched by a leopard is lucky to be alive after the animal let go of him while his mother gave chase. The unnamed child, believed to be around 5 years old, was sitting in his hut with his mother and siblings when the big cat approached, according to local authorities. The woman, who has been named locally as Kiran Bega, jumped up and chased the animal while screaming. According to the field director of the Sanjay Dubri National Park and Tiger Reserve, they said, as in other national parks in India, Sanjay Dubri has a core where most of the wildlife resides. This is surrounded by a buffer zone where some people live alongside free-roaming animals. The family lives in a village nearby, which falls in the reserve's buffer zone, which is not fenced off. The lady was sitting in her hut with her children when the leopard came. It took the child and started to run away when the lady chased, screaming.
God almighty.
More people showed up,
nightmare.
so the leopard let go of the child and ran away. The boy suffered minor injuries, but is now fully recovered. I mean, the kid was going to be a meal.
Yeah.
It was flat out going to be a meal.
I don't like that the leopards can wander into your huts over there.
Fortunately, the kid wasn't injured, and the leopard's teeth, he was slightly injured. The leopard's teeth had sunk into him. He was admitted to the hospital and is fine now.
Did they have one of those swinging leopard doors in the door?
Maybe, where he got in.
That was a big mistake.
Yeah. All right, here's a follow-up story. I didn't believe there'd be a follow-up story to this, but the Spotsylvania Sheriff's Office and Fire Department will maintain a presence at the next school board meeting. This is in Virginia, by the way, as a response to a book burning event scheduled by a local Facebook group. I told you about this a couple weeks ago. The anonymously run page Spotsy 411 posted the event on November 22nd, urging Spotsylvania parents to have their children check out books from the school library that they want to see removed, bring them to the December 13th school board meeting where they would burn every last one of them. The event disappeared from the page on November 25th. The page is no longer published. The sheriff's office met with the county fire marshal's office to discuss the event.
Yeah, they brought the pancake breakfast back.
And have notified the school division that a book burning would be in violation of the state and local fire codes. Spotsy 411, that account also posted the names and workplaces of all school division employees who spoke at the November 15th school board meeting in opposition to the board's decision to remove sexually explicit books from the library shelves without following established policy for challenging library materials.
Jesus.
The board had rescinded the vote to pull the books at its November 15th meeting. So they want to, but these people want a book burning.
I told you about one of those school
Bring the
burnings
community together.
where they were burning Fahrenheit 451. It's like,
you did that? Didn't you read it? Houston police investigators question megachurch pastor Joel Osteen, a well-known televangelist who has been associated with the prosperity gospel, after someone discovered bags and bags of cash and checks stashed in a bathroom wall at his church.
Wait, this is Joel
Osteen.
This
Yes,
is-
one of the guys who's a little bit more, I guess, vetted or believed to be
Yeah.
on the up and up.
But my mother will send me, she sends a group text to me and my brothers every Sunday. And she tells us what Joel is speaking about and encourages us to turn it on. So can't wait to send this to her.
The discovery...
Let the story develop, It could have been just the plumber maybe left all this money in the wall by accident.
The discovery was made by a plumber during repair in one of the bathrooms. A plumber named Justin had said that he got a call about a loose toilet at the church on November 10th. He said he started working on the toilet and had to remove the tile and insulation. Once he removed the insulation, he discovered about 3,000 envelopes full of checks. Some had cash in it. Justin said that he called the church's maintenance supervisor and had to stay at the church for almost 7 hours. So the discovery came several years after someone stole $600,000 in cash and checks from a safe at Osteen's Lakewood Church. And they're wondering if maybe... for some reason, they put it in the bathroom wall. I don't know.
Also, like checks, to wall up checks?
I don't get it.
I mean, once you cash them, you'd end up on the radar of the people you were ripping off.
It's weird, though. All right, and then one last story. I received this a lot from people over the weekend. A Montgomery County, Maryland homeowner burned their house down while they were trying to manage a snake infestation.
It's the only way.
I mean...
You see the
Kathy
narrative.
was
That's right.
yeah.
Montgomery County Fire and Rescue tweeted that the owner tried using smoke from coals to fight the serpents in a house.
All right.
The fire broke out around 10 p.m. 75 firefighters were called to put out the blaze.
How many snakes were you talking?
It's believed that the coals in the basement started the fire, which caused more than $1 million in damages.
So it was worth it.
I don't know how many snakes were there, but $1 million in damages. All right.
Got him.
That is what I have in the bizarre file for you. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Let's give away our last 2 Christmas Miracle passes right now.
It's a Christmas miracle!
Yep.
Yeah! Woo!
All right, we'll take callers 20 and 21 at 215-263-WMMR. And you do have to be at least 21 and be there on the 21st at Parks Casino. A lot of 21s here.
Yeah.
And you will be able to attend the Christmas Miracle broadcast at the Parks X Site Center and participate in the Miller Lite Ugly Sweater Edition. So make sure you wear your ugliest sweater that you have. You can even make one if you want to, because there'll be prizes given away for that. And also you can bring a guest, but only you are qualified to be in our contest. And you need to know your Preston and Steve trivia, because that's what it's all about. So let's get those callers 20, 21, 215-263 WMMR. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Necklaces into, Kathy, right?
What do you mean?
Yeah,
So you know what a glow necklace is, obviously,
The
right?
things
Like
you crack?
glow, yeah, the glow bracelets.
Yeah.
What if it was like just a vessel that was like decorative that you could insert the glow
And make it
necklace?
different colors?
Well,
I see what you're saying.
The
Not-
pitch here, though, is that it looks flesh-colored. It looks like you have altered your skin.
You're saying not looking like it's implanted.
not like no, but accessorizing your glow necklace.
Like what Twiggy wore in Buck Rogers.
Here's the audio of her showing it off. Here we go.
My necklace glows like a heartbeat. It moves to the rhythm of my heartbeat.
Oh my God! Shut up!
My necklace glows like a heartbeat.
Wait.
It moves to the rhythm of my heartbeat.
Oh my God. My heartbeat. Wait, Steve, what are you putting in your mouth?
Something to puff. Give me something to puff out my lips.
Give him something. Wait, you need here, hold on. I have something.
Do you have cotton or
tiny
something?
flashlight.
Steve was trying to put a flashlight in his mouth. Not a flashlight, a flashlight.
Yeah, we do have those.
Stick a flashlight in your mouth.
Try that case.
Try that.
What do you have? Yeah, okay.
Close to the rhythm of
Wait,
my
this is
heart.
too big. What do you think I am, a Watusi warrior here? What'd you give him?
Do you think somebody told her to say that, or is that all on
Well,
her
I'm sure
own?
she's getting paid for
Well,
it.
I know, but like where they like say it's,
Sure.
it's to your heart.
Close to the rhythm.
My necklace glows like a heartbeat. It moves to the rhythm of my heartbeat.
You look like Bill Murray in where the giant plant when he goes to the dentist. Little Shop of Horrors. You look like
Little Shop of It goes to the beat of my heartbeat. It's right under my neck and it glows and it pumps to the heart of my heart. Glow, turn on my heart light.
It moves to the rhythm of my heartbeat.
Oh my God!
Shut up.
Yeah. Well, this person Simon Huck is a conceptual artist, so it's.
I'm a conceptual artist. And I want your neck to glow.
Stop it. Okay. They don't see that outside the bubble.
right,
the
so
rest of the world is like, what are you doing?
I'm looking at one. Nick pulled this up. It looks like she has feathers growing out of her chest.
Yeah,
Yes.
Steve, this is Chrissy Teigen.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Nick, do you have the other ones as well?
Kind of cool.
This is no.
That's cool.
She only posted one.
I mean, listen. It looks like studio makeup done for a movie.
Yes.
For a horror movie.
Yeah, a horror movie or
Yeah,
some sort of
fantasy, sci-fi thing.
So why not be like the large singing plant from Little Shop of Horrors?
Yeah. So meanwhile,
Seymour?
so Tegan, sported a featherhead breastplate, they called it, while Tan France wore a piece made to look like ruffled skin with bioreactive crystals, and Pajik wore horn-like sculpted shoulders. That's it.
Okay, so the one that looks like mushrooms growing here, if we can get that one, I think it looks kind of really like Casey. You don't like things that look like openings and circles and indentations in a body.
Wouldn't it be awesome for like the socially elite for it to become fashionable to wear like a horn out of your forehead?
But Preston,
Wouldn't it?
Like the
you're
Hunger
not
Games?
far.
Yeah.
Preston, the bagel thing.
Yeah.
The
implant.
the Japanese were doing the bagel implants on the forehead.
But I'd like to see like a rhino horn coming out of their forehead. Oh my God.
Charge.
Rhino. That's so rhino. All right, anyhow, the full exhibit of futuristic clothing-like objects inserted under the skin opens in New York City next week. The entrance fee to even see this stuff is $40 if you want to go check it out.
$40 to see these incredible expressions of self.
Ewan McGregor is in talks to reprise his role as Obi-Wan Kenobi in a series that centers around his Star Wars character for Disney Plus, according to the Hollywood Reporter.
It is Obi-Wan Kenobi, attorney at law. It's a departure.
That would be.
Yeah. I think you should let him off with time served. Giving you time served.
He's using the Jedi mind trick to sway the judge.
I think you should find him innocent. I'm finding you innocent. I object! There's no way that's legal!
It's totally legal.
Oh, my God.
I think you need to go to sleep. I got to go to sleep now.
That would be...
I would
be brilliant.
I would totally
Attorney at law.
This isn't the evidence you're looking for.
Yeah.
Even if you're stone cold guilty, give me a call.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the commercials. Yeah.
Demand Kenobi.
Yeah. And he's licensed in Missouri.
I am.
Yeah.
And even if I'm not, I'll convince them I am.
Yes, that's right.
I'm licensed in Missouri. He's licensed in Missouri.
Better call Obi.
Would he wear a Would he be a cowboy hat?
Space cowboy.
Lawyer?
Yeah.
Type? Oh, my God. Obi-Wan Kenobi, attorney at law.
Anytime, day or night, even on New Year's Day.
Coming soon to Disney Plus.
Or Life Day on the Wookiee home planet.
No, this could be good. I loved him as Obi-Wan Kenobi. I didn't care for the series of movies, but I thought he pulled it off
I agree.
wonderfully.
He was the thing that kept me watching, and he provided, I believe, the emotional core to those. The second and third movies I really do like. I think they're good. In just tone and in some way, the distinction between the Abrams movies, the artificiality of the first trilogy was almost too much. It was so CGI'd that it was hard to connect to.
Yeah,
But
everything on the screen was fake.
Yeah.
Except for the people, and even in that case, a lot of like Jar Jar obviously was fake. But there's a big stretch of time where we don't know what happens with Obi-Wan, and maybe they'll fill in that time.
Yeah.
with his law career,
law school,
With this, yeah.
passing the bar.
Mr. Kenobi, do you have anything to say? John Houseman.
So anyhow, we'll see when that eventually
He gets his own
surfaces.
judge show.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
This bitch still got my TV. Give the TV back.
He's settling these small claims cases.
It's like Sam
This
Diesel.
bitch still got my TV.
Oh my God. Oh.
I suggest you return the TV. Give me the TV.
Miley Cyrus, you know about all that went on. Yeah, she is officially living her best life after splitting with husband Liam Hemsworth. Soaking in that post-breakup glow with a potential new fling. The mother's daughter singer and the Hunger Games star called it quits on Saturday after less than 8 months of marriage and many more as a couple. The two announced that they've decided to, quote, focus on themselves and their careers in a joint statement.
The thing that is wild is, I guess about 4 months ago, she said she was bisexual, right? That she enjoyed relationships with women as well. And lo and behold, right? I'm sure you have the information there.
Well, yeah, so she is seemingly taking an on-to-the-next-level approach. As hours before the news broke, she was spotted kissing Caitlyn Carter. Carter recently ended her not-so-real marriage to reality TV star and Kardashian step-sibling Brody Jenner.
Can you imagine?
The two have been vacationing in Lake Como, Italy with Cyrus's sister and were seen packing on the PDA at the Il Sereno Hotel over the weekend, where onlookers said they were not trying to hide it at all.
Oh, this is all happening on Instagram. I've got to follow her, Preston. I'm missing so much.
Are you ready? So
please.
Here is her inspirational message. She wrote,
Do we have music that would...
I think you should cue... this is inspirational, so this is...
Oh, you want
the anthem. So she wrote, don't fight evolution because...
I hear you, bro.
You will never win. Like the mountain I am standing on top of, which was once underwater, connected with Africa. What? Change is inevitable.
This is my fight song. Take back my life song.
All right, and life is a climb, but the view is great.
This is my fight song. Take back my life song.
You know what? I think you need a different one. Can you read that line back to me again?
Which one?
The climb one.
Okay.
This is
Life is a climb, but the view is great.
There's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move.
What's the name of this song?
You love that song.
I do love this song.
I think that's probably why she wrote it.
Yeah.
So
She's so smart.
Hemsworth, meanwhile, has been the only one in this love square, laying relatively low. He stepped out with his brother Chris. All right, well, thanks for the heads up. We're going to do today's lesson question. We're going to give away a $50 gift card for Iron Hill Brewery and Restaurant. And the question that we will go with this morning, surprisingly, who presented the Kennedy Center honor to Joni Mitchell last night?
It was amazing.
215-263 WMMR. Let's see if you know the answer. It's not real. It's what Steve said. Surprisingly, who presented the Kennedy Center honor to Joni Mitchell? I'll be surprised if anybody gets this, if they heard that and remember it. But if you do, then please call because we got a prize over here. Let's take a look at trash. Here we go.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you this morning by Wawa. It's your one-stop shop for all gift cards. From Wawa gift cards, Wawa e-gift cards, or a gift card from your favorite brand. Wawa has a gift card for anyone on your list. What's up this morning, Steve?
Well, Christina Aguilera will be receiving the Music Icon Award at the 2021 People's Choice Awards tomorrow night. Aguilera says she's surprised because these honors usually come at the end of a career, prompting the voting committee to ask if they could have a word with her. Billie Eilish.
My God.
Billie Eilish arrived at JFK Airport in New York Saturday, and some overzealous fans got a bit too close and frenetic. Fortunately, Billie's well-trained bodyguards were able to gently turn the fans away using barbed wire wrapped baseball bats.
Hey!
And finally, Scott Disick partied with a, quote, very beautiful woman at the super trendy Art Basel party over the weekend. Not much is known about this mystery woman other than that somewhere her father is seriously considering taking a bath with a plugged-in hairdryer. And that's your Hollywood Trash.
All right, let's see if we can get you here. We're looking for an answer, and we need to know, surprisingly, who presented the Kennedy Center honor to Joni Mitchell. And I will go to Sue for that answer. Hi there, Sue.
Hi.
Hello. Okay, so who surprisingly presented the Kennedy Center honor to Joni Mitchell?
Courtney Stoddard.
You nail it.
Yeah.
Stoddard.
That's close enough.
Close enough. All right, Sue, hang on. We're going to give you a $50 gift card to Iron Hill Brewery and Restaurant. You can join Iron Hill Brewery's top-selling, or not join them, but Iron Hill Brewery's top-selling IPAs and seasonal holiday beers are now available everywhere the craft beer is sold locally. Visit ironhillbrewery.com and click Beer Finder to find a retailer near you.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, I got a handful of stories to run by you. We're going to start with this. University of Florida has awarded the late, great Tom Petty an honorary Ph.D. According to the Associated Press. The school's Board of Trustees, this is in a statement, unanimously voted to award Thomas Earl Petty a posthumous doctoral degree in music during a Friday meeting. Born and raised in Gainesville, Petty once worked as a groundskeeper at UF as he tried to make it in the music industry.
I didn't know that.
No, I didn't know it either.
Yeah.
But he was never enrolled. There's been no word as to whether there will be a special ceremony for the Petty family to be awarded the posthumous honor. Tom, of course, died in 2017 of an accidental overdose at the age of 66. But here's a guy who was, cutting the grass at the school, and they're going to give him an honorary degree.
Rock legend.
Thought that was pretty cool.
Yes.
Slash, featuring Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators, unveiled a new song called Fill My World.
Fill it!
In a press release, Stash opened up about this. I called him Stash.
What are you thinking about?
Slash opened up about the song, saying, musically, I came up with it at my studio. He said, but I sent it to Miles, and he came back with these heartfelt lyrics, and I thought it was about the loss that we've all been suffering during this dark period. And then he told me that it was about his dog.
His dog?
And I said, well, everybody has somebody that they love affected by this, so. And then Miles went on and added, so I had this little Shih Tzu named Mozart. He tries to act all tough, but he's really not. and on one occasion, we couldn't get home. Our flight was delayed, and there was a really intense storm over our house. We have one of those little camera systems, keep an eye on our dog when we can't be there, and we saw him just freaking out. And it was heartbreaking to watch. It terrified the little guy. So the narrative of the song is inspired by what I imagined he might have been thinking as it all went down.
So the ruminations of a Shih Tzu.
Yeah, and his plea to us to come home.
Okay.
So that is...
Please come home, Father. Please come home.
It's for a song called Fill My World. It is the second single from the band's upcoming album 4, which is due out on February 11th. David Lee Roth revealed that he, in fact, designed Eddie Van Halen's signature red, white, and black Stratocaster, commonly referred to as the Frankenstrat.
What?
Roth posted a video after uploading one of his paintings that bore a distinct resemblance to the iconic axe, in which he explained, "We've been getting a lot of cards and letters, digitally, so to speak, in regards to the fact that there's similarities between my work and the stripes on Eddie's guitar, and that's because it's my work." He went on to explain that around 1975 or 76, he brought a roll of gray duct tape, black electrician's tape, and blue art tape into band rehearsal to create the guitar's unique design. He said, "We laid it down and kaboom, within like 4 minutes, I laid it out." I'd never heard that.
No, neither have I.
I always thought that Ed came up with that.
I wonder if that's true.
Interesting.
I was thinking the same thing.
Right.
Like, is it just Dave talking at this point?
I think Alex might have something to say about it if he's lying, so
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. Out now is I Have Seen the Way, Tom Morello's new collaboration with Rush's Alex Lifeson and Metallica's Kirk Hammett. The tune is from Morello's latest solo set, The Atlas Underground Flood, and the track also features electronic dance music by artist Dr. Fresh.
In my mind, I heard you just say, and Russia's Alex. He's Russian?
No.
I always thought he was Canadian.
No. Rush, apostrophe S.
He's Russian.
Yes.
That's how stupid I am.
Back in April, Alex Lifeson was quoted by Loudwire saying, "I really love doing it." He had said, "Put whatever you want on it, the more the merrier." And he was going to give it to Kurt and do the same thing. Being the contrarian, I did all of the different styles of guitar playing, not just heavy rock stuff. And we were all talking to each other while we were doing it. And it was such a rock. And I sent my stuff in and went to them and sent his stuff. I haven't heard it. I am interested.
He covers Song of the Boatman.
Checking that out. Guns N' Roses has just a lyric video for a Hard School title track to the coming EP, which is due out February 22nd. Hard School track listing is Hard School Third, Don't Cry Live, and You're Crazy Live. Guns fan aware of the third track for some time now, and it was originally recorded under the title Jackie Chan during sessions.
You're stuck with Jackie Chan.
Before the last in 2008's Chinese Democracy. All right, and it plays some Dave Grohl clips.
Yes.
So we a couple of days a weekend, so we have covers night 6. So they over
right here.
Right.
Waiting for you.
Joel does a cover of Big